With FM translator service on W265DW at 100.9.
Vaccinated to attend large events will have to show a negative test within 24 or 48 hours of the event, depending on the type of test.
President Biden travels to Kentucky tomorrow to offer support as recovery from Friday's tornadoes goes on. ABC's Jim Ryan is in western Kentucky.
Besides pitching in to clear away debris, the people of the Commonwealth are opening their wallets. In one relief fund alone,
we have now had 44,358 donations, well over $6 million.
Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear says the money has been earmarked for the most tragic of expenses.
To start with, this fund is going to help cover funeral expenses for those we tragically lost in the storm.
Jim Ryan, ABC News, Murray, Kentucky.
Death toll nationwide from the twisters, 88, including 6 killed at an Amazon warehouse in Edwardsville, Illinois. Federal safety administrators will be there today looking into the structure of that facility. The House of Representatives will vote today on whether to ask the Justice Department to pursue criminal contempt charges against Mark Meadows, former President Trump's chief of staff. You're listening to ABC News.
Do you want to be a hero for the holidays? How about getting your loved one a new iPhone? That's right. Pure Talk has iPhone 12 starting at just $479 through the end of the year. And sure, they have 13s too. Switch to Pure Talk. Great nationwide 5G coverage. Yes, the same coverage as the big guys, but the average family saves over $800 a year. Now that's just smart. There's no need to overpay for Verizon, AT&T, or T-Mobile. Plus, with Pure Talk's 30-day risk-free guarantee, you've got nothing to lose. Unlimited talk, text, and 6 gigs of data is just $30 a month. And like I said, the iPhone 12, just $479. From your cell phone, dial pound 250 and say Jill50, and you'll save an additional 50% off your first month. Plus, save on a new phone. That's pound 250, say Jill50. Pure Talk is simply smarter wireless. Some restrictions apply. See site for details.
The parents of Ethan Crumbley, the 15-year-old facing charges in the deadly shooting at a high school north of Detroit, are due in court today. The conference set for this afternoon with James and Jennifer Crumbley facing involuntary manslaughter charges for allegedly providing their son with the gun used in the crime. Ethan is accused of killing 4 people, leaving 7 more wounded in a shooting at the high school in Oxford, Michigan. New warnings to China from the U.S. Secretary of State. ABC's Inez de la Cuetara has the story from the foreign desk.
Secretary of State Tony Blinken in Indonesia calling out China's aggressive actions in the region.
It's about upholding the rights and agreements that are responsible for the most peaceful and prosperous period this region and the world has ever experienced.
Blinken's trip comes as the Biden administration tries to reset relations in Asia and reassert its own influence in the region. Following Indonesia, Blinken will also head to Malaysia and Thailand. Inez de la Cuetara, ABC News, at the foreign desk.
In Indonesia today, a strong earthquake rattling part of the country. That's the sound of it. Magnitude 7.3. The quake sending people fleeing into the streets on Flores Island. It hit offshore, prompting a tsunami alert, but that has now been lifted. No reports of major damage or injuries. The UN Weather Agency has now certified a town in Russia north of the Arctic Circle hit just over 100 degrees last year. The temperature reading in June of 2020, the highest ever in the Arctic. This is ABC News.
70% of the Fortune 100 choose Zoom. With phone, chat, workspaces, apps, events, and video in a single platform, Zoom powers all your communications. Large enterprises, small businesses, and individuals use the secure Zoom platform to enable new ways of working, learning, hosting events, and supporting their customers. And now you can save 15% on meetings, chat, and phone with the Zoom United bundle. Visit zoom.com/bundle. Zoom, how the world connects.
I'm Sherry Preston, ABC News.
The reasons more and more people are coming to NC Tractor to do business are the selection of Massey Ferguson tractors, Bobcat zero-turn mowers, fantastic customer service, and the special Phil Sheehan seasonal discounts. NC Tractor on Railroad Avenue in Rutherford is making dreams come true for folks who want the wrist.
Today we're going to see a lot of sunshine with high pressure in place. It's going to be a pleasant one. Highs will reach the upper 50s and mid-60s. Overnight will fall into the upper 20s and mid-30s under mostly clear conditions. Tomorrow will be slightly milder with highs in the mid-50s and mid-60s with increasing clouds. We do have near record warmth possible by Friday, and then a cold front will move through by Saturday, bringing much needed rain. I'm meteorologist Peter Sherwood at the Weather Center.
Thanks very much, Peter. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to a terrific Tuesday morning. It is the 14th day of December. 14th day of December, and it's 5 minutes after 7. And our temperature reading, according to Peter, the meter reader, is 30 degrees right now. Still under the freezer locker, but we should be pulling out nicely in just a little while, up to about 64, and light wind. The biggest gust of winds come Friday. Looks like wind gusting up to about 14 miles per hour on Friday, and then gusting to 14 miles per hour again on Saturday with some thunderstorms, possibly scattered showers, and again scattered showers on Sunday and Monday, and possibly clearing out of here by Monday night or Tuesday. So Christmas week hopefully will be kind of nice for us. We hope it is, and we hope you're going to be safe as you do your Christmas shopping and running about visiting friends and neighbors. Be careful, be safe, and be happy and be friendly. Now we'll have these death announcements. Etta Tony, age 84 of Forest City, passed away Saturday, December the 11th at Hospice of the Carolina Foothills. A graveside service will be conducted at 2 o'clock today at the Mount Harmony Baptist Church Cemetery with Reverend Scott Butler officiating. No formal visitation will be conducted. The family will be gathered at 368 Holly Hills Drive, Forest City. Harrelson Funeral Home is serving the family of Etta Tony. Steve Darnell Wooten, age 62 of Forest City, died Thursday, December the 9th, at Hospice House in Forest City. Services will be announced later, and the Pageant and King Mortuary and Crematory is in charge of the arrangements for Steve Darnell Wooten. Patricia Worley Margarita, age 76, passed away at Forsyth Medical Center December the 10th. Services will be held on Thursday, December the 16th at 4 o'clock at Bills Creek Baptist Church. The family will receive friends 1 hour prior to the service, and Reverend Monica Childers will officiate. Burial will be private. Crow's Mortuary is assisting the family of Patricia Worley Margarita. Clara Dean Wilson Crump, age 90 of Forest City, passed away on Wednesday, December the 8th at Hospice of the Carolina Foothills. The funeral service will be conducted at 3 o'clock Wednesday, December 15th at the Harrelson Funeral Chapel with Reverend Ernie Cole officiating. Burial will follow in the Bethel Baptist Church Cemetery. Family will receive friends 1 hour prior to service time at the funeral home, and Harrelson Funeral Home is in charge of the arrangements for Clara Dean Wilson Crump. Margaret Jean Goldman, 71 of Chesney, South Carolina, passed away Sunday, December the 5th at her home. Memorial services will be held today at 6 o'clock at Crow's Funeral Chapel. Visitation will follow the service. Crow's Mortuary is assisting the family of Margaret Jean Goldman of Chesney. Grace Melton Black, 89, died Tuesday, December 7th at Rutherford Regional Health System. A service to celebrate her life will be held 2 o'clock on Tuesday, December the 28th. Tuesday, December 28th at First United Methodist Church of Forest City with Reverend Bill Perry officiating. Burial will follow in the church columbarium. Mask will be required at the service for the safety of those attending. The service will be live streamed on the Facebook page of First United Methodist Church or the church's YouTube channel. The Pageant and King Mortuary and Crematory is in charge of the arrangements for Grace Melton Black. Those are the death announcements we have in-house this morning. For the complete information on these and others as they become available to us, can be heard this morning at 11:35 and then again at 5:10 as part of the afternoon call-around report. It's almost 10 minutes after 7 o'clock, time for the Bill O'Reilly Morning Update. Let me remind you that the drawing for the Chamber of Commerce raffle is coming up Friday morning about 10 minutes after 8 o'clock.
Bill O'Reilly here, and I'm warming up from the NRIA.net studios in New York. Stand by for the O'Reilly Update Morning Edition. For most folks, getting out of an unused timeshare is a top priority. With the bill always around the corner, it's like rolling the dice. Lone Star Transfer has helped thousands of people just like you and me for over a decade. They'll get you out of your timeshare quickly, legally, and ethically, guaranteed. For a free consultation, please go to LoneStarTransfer.com or call 855-551-7066. 855-551-7066. On this Tuesday, I am still recovering from the first two Trump O'Reilly history shows over the weekend in Florida. What a roller coaster ride that was. First of all, my production company is putting these shows on, so not only am I the interviewer, I am the executive producer, and there's a lot of stuff to deal with. But the most difficult thing that I had to confront was that there were thousands of people in Fort Lauderdale and Orlando, and most of them understood this was a serious endeavor. But a portion of the crowd did not. They thought it was a Trump rally. So I had to almost scold some of the audience members when they were catcalling, yelling things. And they were all positive. It wasn't a negative, but they didn't kind of get what was happening because I was asking very serious questions to the 45th president who was answering those questions. But when you're in the middle of will Putin start a world war and somebody starts to scream, that's not a good thing. But I tamped it down. I played the bad guy. And unfortunately, the dishonest far-left press, I mean, these shows are a fabulous success. 30,000 tickets so far sold. Now this. Attention investors want predictable monthly cash flow? How about double-digit annualized targeted returns with the benefits of real estate without being a landlord? Peace of mind comes from investing with a 15-year industry leader. Savvy investors are learning about the NRIA Real Estate Development Fund, and you should too. So please call 800-800-1414. That's easy, 800-800-1414.
An offer of securities is only made by the NRIA Private Placement Memorandum. Read it first. Past performance does not guarantee future results. NRIA is a real estate development firm. Learn more at NRIA.net.
That is the Morning O'Reilly Update. More analysis later on.
Your official Christmas station for Rutherford County and the Foothills is WCAB Rutherfordton. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Pass it on. Here's a short quiz. Who won Best Actress last year? Who won the World Series 2 years ago? And finally, name your favorite teacher. Pass it on. Now, I'm guessing that the last question was the easiest. Why is that? Because that person made a difference in your life. So, go ahead and make a difference. Because making a difference is in you. Pass it on. From PassItOn.com.
It's not known for sure if James Greathouse, also known as Whiskey Jim, was born in Texas or Arkansas. But whichever state it was, they probably won't want to claim him. Whiskey Jim could probably drink more than his share of booze, but this nickname actually came from his selling firewater to the Indians. Whiskey did more than just sell booze. He also stole cattle and engaged in a number of other activities, allowing him to avoid a legitimate job. While in Fort Griffin, Texas, Whiskey fell afoul of the local authorities and was encouraged to move on. And he did, to Lincoln County in New Mexico, where he started a rest stop for travelers and a cattle ranch. The rest stop was a place for cattle rustlers to stay, and the ranch was stocked with cattle they rustled. In 1880, a posse ended up burning down his place. Whiskey Jim moved again, this time to Socorro, New Mexico. There he made the mistake of stealing cattle from a rancher named Joel Fowler, and Joel didn't like it. On December 15, 1881, Fowler and his foreman came across Whiskey and a couple of his cohorts. Using the ruse that Fowler and the foreman were on the run from the law, they put Whiskey and the other two at ease. As the men were talking, Fowler lifted his shotgun and put the load from the left barrel into Whiskey and the right barrel into one of his cohorts. At the same time, Fowler's foreman pulled his pistol and shot Whiskey's other friend. In a matter of seconds, Whiskey and his friends were on the move once again, this time to the great beyond. You've just heard another story from Old West Radio. I'm Dakota Livesay.
Jesse James Railroad Express has added 2 new sandwiches to their menu. Try the all-new crispy chicken sandwich with lettuce, tomato, and mayonnaise, or the crispy deluxe with lettuce, tomato, mayonnaise, bacon, and cheese. And now, the new beer-battered fish sandwich. All come with sides. Enjoy a refreshing milkshake or a hand-dipped ice cream cone. Open Monday through Saturday, 11 a.m. until 4 p.m. Closed Wednesday and Sunday. Jesse James Railroad Express, 531 Railroad Avenue in Rutherford. Call 828-447-4644. Mondays only, hot dog with mustard, chili, and onions for only $1.24 each. All aboard the Jesse James Railroad Express.
Thank you, Todd. Counting down the days now to the big drawing on Friday, the 17th. We'll draw the winners of the Chamber of Commerce raffle. $8,000, $1,500, $500. Somebody's going to win. You'll hear about it right here and see it live on Facebook, and we're going to stream it on our World Wide Web as well and have it live here in the studio. So that'll be Friday morning about 10 minutes after 8 o'clock. 16 now past 7. Let's head to the phone to find out what's been going on around our neighborhood. And Sheriff Chris Francis is on the phone to give us an update. Good morning, Sheriff. How are you?
I'm doing well, Jim. I hope you are.
I am doing very well. I'm just tickled to death. It's finally Tuesday.
Finally Tuesday. I'm glad I heard that reminder. I need to stop by and see you and buy a ticket. I'm glad you said that. I had good intentions last week and got busy.
Well, you're a busy man, but I'm holding one for you.
Thank you, sir. That sounds great.
What's been going on?
In the last 24 hours, the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office has responded to 203 calls for service. There have been 18 arrests processed in the county jail. Currently incarcerated, we have 187. Among those arrested, Darian Akil Brown, 20-year-old male of Forest City, was charged with flee to elude arrest, trafficking opium, possession with intent to manufacture, sell, and deliver opium, maintain a vehicle for controlled substance, driving while license revoked, and reckless driving. Received a $101,000 secure bond. We also had Brooklyn Mackenzie Logan, 24-year-old female of Spindale, charged with failure to appear and received a $500 bond. Lenya Markel Murray, 20-year-old female of Spindale, was charged with failure to appear and received a $1,000 bond. Juana Devon Ray, 26-year-old male, was charged with 3 counts of failure to appear and received a $500 unsecured bond. Michael Brant Free, 29-year-old male, was arrested on charge of felony probation violation. And Tammy Renee Sykes, 49-year-old female of Ellenboro, was charged with second-degree trespass. Among our incidents, we had a shooting to an occupied dwelling. This occurred at Doggett Grove Road. A trailer was struck. It appears someone had been target shooting with a rifle through the woods from this residence, and at least one round did enter the residence going into interior wall. No one was hurt, but it still is under investigation. And Jim, that's what we had to report today.
Well, that recent rain has helped us a lot. The North Carolina Forest Service has officially lifted a ban on all open burning for all 100 counties across the state, so that's been helpful. We've been kind of dry, so now folks can burn those leaves, I guess, if they'll be careful.
It's still one to be careful, but I tell you, the fire that we had there on the Buncombe-Rutherford line last week was very concerning, and I was glad to see that rain come, and hopefully we'll keep those big burns down and those big wildfires down.
Yeah, and we got some more rain coming, looks like this coming weekend, so maybe we're going to be safe. If folks should just be cautious.
That's good advice.
Sheriff, have a great day and be careful out there, and I'll see you next time.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Sheriff Chris Francis reporting in this morning, 19 past 7. To win in sports, you must adjust your strategy as the game changes. The same is true of investments. Why not let Andrew Tisdale, your Edward Jones financial advisor, help you create a game plan for financial success? Call 828-287-9197 and get started today. That's Andrew Tisdale at Edward Jones Financial Advisor, 828-287-9197. Time now to head over toward 911 Communications Center for the report. And Amber's on the phone now to give us that update. Amber, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. What's on the report?
In the past 24 hours, Rutherford County Sheriff's Office 911 Communications has processed 473 911 calls and administrative calls, which consisted of 103 calls for EMS. And for law enforcement, there were 203 calls for the Sheriff's Office, 89 for Forest City, 2 for Lake Lure, 52 for Rutherfordton, and 59 for Spindale. And for fire calls, Bills Creek responded to a structure fire with Shingle Hollow, Lake Leeward, Shingle Hollow assisting. Cliffside responded to a brush fire with Forestry Service assisting. Elevator responded to a structure fire with Upstate, Cherry Mountain, and Forest City assisting, and then Forest City Fire responded to an appliance fire, a motor vehicle accident, a power line fire, and a brush fire. And then Rutherford responded to a motor vehicle accident, and Cindy Mush responded to a motor vehicle accident and a smoke report. And that's all we have.
Thank you very much. I hope you have a great day.
You too. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Well, much to the sorrow of many folks in the county school system, Daily Courier is reporting that Rutherford County Schools students and staff had a period of 6 days when wearing masks was optional. That changed when the transmission rate of COVID-19 in Rutherford County began to worsen. According to the report, parents were informed last weekend that beginning Monday, masks are once again required in the classroom in all Rutherford County school facilities. RCS administration made the decision based on the Board of Education's policy, which was reaffirmed at the December 7th board meeting. According to the policy, masks will be required when the COVID transmission rate is considered high, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention of the CDC. When the designation improves to substantial for 7 consecutive days, then masks become optional. If the transmission designation moves back to high for 7 consecutive days, masks becomes required once again. So, according to the officials and according to the report in the Courier, mask mandate returns to the Rutherford County schools. Here's Ruby Taylor now reporting from Danieltown with the SDO Fire District. Good morning, Ruby.
Good morning.
What's on your report today?
Well, the fire department didn't have any calls. On my birthday calendar, I've got Joan Libera and Les Jones having birthdays today, and hope they have a nice day. And Mr. and Ms. Bob Handelson is having an anniversary, and hope they have a nice day. And the signs are in the neck today and tomorrow. Jim, that's all I got.
Thanks, Ruby. Enjoy your day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Cheryl, I've been talking to Tommy and David, the outside salesmen at Henson Building Materials in Forest City. They're going to help us navigate through our remodeling project.
Well, I know they have tons of experience, so we'll be in good hands.
Good hands is right. Even professional builders shop there because they trust the quality products and service.
And did you know they have a great relationship with our community, too? Oh, they're so nice.
Henson Building Materials, 177 Duke Street, Forest City.
Building starts here.
Merry Christmas. This is Phyllis with Loveless Financial Group. Now let's talk about, is this what Christmas is about? We're in the Advent season. The church is all decorated. Our homes look like Hallmark. Well, somewhat. We're planning our Christmas family dinner. Ask the family. They'll tell you exactly what they want. We used to have the same old thing every year. Then I started asking, what do you want? Well, guess what we're having? Enchiladas and sweet potato cobbler, and I'll make a pound cake. We're planning our church dinner and excited to have all my classmates coming over for high tea. Well, no hats this time. Now that's what Christmas is all about. With my busy schedule, there's one thing I won't forget, and that's my time with my precious Lord. My church time is more precious than ever. With Dan's illness and COVID, we have not been able to go to church in 18 months. And yesterday, when Alice started playing Beautiful Star of Bethlehem, I sat there thinking, now this is Christmas. And yes, like many others, I'll have an empty chair at my table. I'll miss my sweet Dan this Christmas, but I'm so thankful for 14 Christmas passes and love, laughter, and precious memories. Love and blessings to you and your family this Christmas from Loveless Financial Group. Al and I want to thank you for your love and support this last year and wish for you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. This is Phyllis saying bye for now.
Thanks so much, Phyllis, for that. 7:25 now. Let's head up toward the Fairfield Mountains Fire District. Gary Wilson, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing pretty good, Jim. How you doing?
Doing great. Glad it's a beautiful day.
Wrapping in presents already, I guess, huh?
Well, I haven't bought mine yet. I'm still looking around. You got any ideas?
I'll just get it in red or blue. You'll be all right, I believe.
Yeah, maybe just an
new
empty
car or something like that. That'd be good.
Yeah, a jar of honey would be good, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Well, we're quiet up here this morning. Everything's been peaceful overnight. Sitting on about 32 degrees. Not quite as chilly as it was yesterday, but still cool start. But got some warmer weather coming in for a few days, so I'm all about that. It makes the bones hurt a little less, maybe.
It won't feel like Christmas, will it?
No, it won't. I believe it won't. We get here in Christmas. It's not too far off, around the corner. A little over a week away, and we'll be here. But we'll be glad to see it regardless of the weather. It's always a good time to get family together and do a lot of good eating and get to see each other, and won't get time anymore. It looks like to stop and do anything, but nice to pause once in a while. Christmas is a good time to do it.
Yes, it is.
And that's about all we got up here this morning, Jim.
All right, Gary, keep things together for us up there, and we'll check back in with you tomorrow morning.
All right, we'll see you then.
See you now. 7:26. You know about the wonderful history of C.F. Reese & Son Company in Rutherfordton. 80 years of professional family-owned business. Now they're the new still dealer and open on Saturdays for your shopping convenience. Open 8 to 1 on Saturdays, so if you need a weed eater, leaf blower, chainsaw, or any of the other dependable Stihl products, come on by and make your choice. They have the new cordless tools from Stihl. Of course, C.F. Reese still does hydraulic hose repair and still your welding supply store. Do business with the family you know. C.F. Reese & Son Company, 832 North Main Street, Rutherfordton, now open on Saturdays. Here's DeVern now over in Boston with our Boston report. DeVern, good morning. How you doing?
Good morning. I'm doing great. It's 30 degrees over here in Boston, very cold this morning. The train just went through about 15 after 7. Maybe Santa Claus was on there going back to the North Pole.
I hope so.
The fire department didn't have any calls. Don't forget to go by Washburn's, get you Christmas candy. Go by the bakery and pick out your goodies and all. Come through Boston and see our pretty lights. We thank the mayor of Boston and the town council for the good job they do here in the town of Boston. Hope everybody has a safe day.
DeVern, thank you very much. You have a wonderful day over there as well, and I will talk to you again in the morning.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
Farm Bureau Insurance doesn't hire celebrities to push auto coverage. We think people might like to make decisions based on service and savings, not just because that guy from that show says it's a good idea. Instead of faces you know from your TV, we offer faces you know from your neighborhood, because we're headquartered in North Carolina with local agents right in your town. That's really the only thing we want to be famous for. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance, helping you is what we do best.
In Rutherford County, please call 287-2428.
North Carolina Farm Bureau Mutual Insurance Company, Farm Bureau Insurance of North Carolina, Inc., Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, Jackson, Mississippi, an independent licensee of the Blue Cross and Blue Shield Association.
Let's check in now with Bob Hodge. He has things under control for us over in the Hudlow Fire District. And on this beautiful Tuesday morning, Bob, how are you?
We're doing just fine. Like I say, on this beautiful Tuesday morning, a little chilly around the edges, but
yes,
other than that, it's going to be a nice day.
I think it's going to be one of those beautiful shopping days. I hope you'll go out and do some shopping today, Bob.
Well, I think we're going to have to go to the grocery store. We're about to run out of stuff to eat, so that's...
So got to get over there.
We'll have to do that first. But things are going along good up here, Jim, this morning with the fire department overnight. It's been quiet. Hadn't had any fire calls, so that's good. And everything else going along good. And like I say, ain't going to be long here till Christmas, so we're going to have to get our shopping done, ain't we?
I tell you, it's going to be a rush here to the last minute, I'm afraid.
That's right there, but, well, I never get through. I just quit, you know.
I'm with you, Bob. I'm with you. I always look and rush around the last minute, and after Christmas over with, I think, you know, I didn't get through with my shopping.
That's right.
Or I'll buy something, I'll put it away, and I forget where I put it, and after Christmas I'll remember it. Oh, it's back up in the closet on the shelf over there.
Well, now Jean has trouble with that now. She'll start buying after first of the year, and then she forget where she put it there. So we have to hunt around for it. So
I'm glad I'm not the only one that does that.
That's right. Well, Jim, you take care and have a good day.
Bob, I appreciate you. Thank you, and you have a good one, too.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bob Hodge reporting in this morning. It's 7:30. Let me quickly give you an update on our family media. We've been asking about it. We're kind of at a standstill. We think we have something worked out. It may be working through another agency, but we may have found something. We don't know yet. So I've been hesitant about saying much because we don't know. It's one of those complicated issues. But there's not any houses or apartments anybody's got available around here at all. But we're working on some other possibilities, and I will certainly keep you posted. So we can't move forward just yet. But I did want you to know how much I appreciate those of you who've been calling and asking and making contributions to the case. But we will certainly keep you posted. We'll keep you in the loop. Hopefully by the end of the day we may have something concrete and firm up. Hopefully, we're hoping and praying that we can get that to an end sometime today and help that mother and her two boys. We'll certainly let you know. Now here's Sue Price reporting in from Bostic, the Sunshine, the Gold, Cherry Mountain. That's where you are, Sue. Cherry Mountain this morning. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing good, Jim. Hope you are.
I think I'm all right.
Well, it's a beautiful morning over here. Sun coming up, but it's cold out there. Well, let's see. The fire department had one call to assist Ellenborough on a structure fire. I've got no birthdays or anniversaries on either one of my calendars for today, but we hope anybody that's having a birthday or anniversary will have a very good day on their special day and enjoy it. It's going to be a nice day. And in my announcements, the Christmas program, December 17th at 7 p.m. at Golden Valley Church. And then there's Duncan's Creek Church will have a Christmas Eve candlelighted service and Christmas carols. First Broad Baptist Church will have a Christmas Eve service at 10 p.m. And I believe that's the only ones I have to announce. We enjoyed the meeting at the clubhouse last night. We had a good time, had a good meal, and played a game, and just had a good time together. Had a good crowd, too. And we hope everybody will have a good day today and enjoy it. And just looking forward to Christmas now. Everything's coming together. And remember the blood drive coming up on the 20th at the Golden Valley Clubhouse, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. So come on out if you can give blood. We would like to have a good turnout for that. And so far, I guess that's it for this morning, Jim. It's just quiet and calm over here looking for a good day, and I hope you'll have one.
Thanks, Sue. You too. And I will check in with you tomorrow.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thinking about the departure of a loved one through death is a subject we don't like to talk about. However, pre-planning or prepaying for a funeral is a consideration and responsible thing to do. With so many options available today, it's important to speak with someone you can trust and someone who can help you find a balance between the emotional, spiritual, and financial needs of your loved ones. Crow's Mortuary and Crematory is recognized as one of the best family-run funeral homes. It's a family tradition, and they know how to care for your family. Any questions you might have, they will be happy to answer. Call Crow's Mortuary and Cremation Services at 286-2304.
Our biggest holiday deals are on now at Carolina West Wireless Keep On Giving event. Save $400 on the new iPhone 13 and iPhone 13 Pro when you sign up for select unlimited plans. Give the gift a better connection to everyone on your holiday shopping list with unlimited data that keeps on giving all year long. Just $35 a month per line for 4 lines. Receive a $100 Fanatic C code with any new activation on our premium unlimited plan. Hurry into Carolina West Wireless to celebrate deals that keep on giving. Certain restrictions or conditions may apply. See store for details or visit carolinawest.com/terms and conditions.
Hey folks, Farmer's Friend Feed Seed Supply is an amazing store. I can say that because they have what you need. From pet supplies to fire and ant killer to horse quality Timothy alfalfa hay, $14 per bale. Attention carp fishermen, they have C&J flavoring, only $8 per bottle. And they have oats for sale. Refill your propane tanks at the lowest price. Fully stocked with all your deer supplies and a great selection of farm implements. Need mulch? $12 per scoop. We could call it a superstore. Farmer's Friend Feed Seed Supply, 188 Whiteside Road in Rutherfordton.
Well, the gates just opened across the road there at Farmer's Friend Feed Seed and Supply. You can come on by now and shop till you drop at some of the things you need for your farm, your family, your yard, your pets. That's all right here at Farmer's Friend Feed Seed and Supply. Got a lot of things coming up here on WCAB in the next few weeks. Of course, Friday is the big day for the drawing for the Chamber raffle tickets. There's some few tickets still left. If you have not gotten yours, please do that because we'll have to pull them in on Thursday so they can get ready for it on Friday morning. They'll bring the big wheel over here. They'll be enclosed, and then they'll turn them around, and live on camera, live on our website, YouTube, and live on Facebook, and live on the radio. We will draw names, 3 names for the 3 winners. $8,000, $1,500, and $500, the winners, and they'll be instantly notified. So if you do not have your ticket, please don't let this slip. It could be this year that you could win it. What would you do with $8,000, huh? I don't know. I'm not eligible to have a name, so since I'm involved in the drawing, so somebody else can have my share of that. Because unless somebody said, well, we'll share that with Jim. You know what I'm saying? Probably not. But get your ticket. We've got a few left here at WCAB. And then on Christmas Eve morning, we'll be drawing to give away a recliner from the Recliner Center. All you got to do there is just get a card to us, a Christmas card, either a real one or you can hand make one. Get it to us, your name and address and telephone number. And if you want to request your favorite Christmas song, do that too. And we'll do our best to get your song played during the holiday. But we'll have a drawing that morning, and Angela will give away a recliner from the Recliner Center. Christmas time is here, and we always enjoy that. We're on hold over at the Drop-In Family Mart this morning. They're busy this Tuesday, the 14th day of December. We're trying to find out from them about breakfast this morning, but we're going to have to move on, I believe, and maybe hopefully they will take a little break, maybe talk with us. But I like to see them busy. They've been really, really busy on breakfast because they do such a great job with breakfast. And we'll see if you have an opportunity to go by. If you have not been to breakfast there, go by. They do the biscuits, they do the gravy, they do the bacon, the sausage, and they put the cheese on your bacon and eggs if you want it. They have all kinds of things, fresh blended coffee. It's just a great place to have breakfast. Take it out. They don't have seating room, of course, to sit down, but you take it to work with you, take it back home with you. Buy your workmate a biscuit and sausage. It's good, and they all got the Christmas candy over there. You can shop for groceries. They got a fresh meat market, and somebody told me, and we've been talking about this. Somebody else told me, said they'll even, if you're unable and don't like to get in and out of the car, they'll be bringing you groceries out to you if you like it that way. It's just that kind of friendly grocery store. Drop in Family Mart there in Bostic. Now we're moving on up to Shingle Hollow, and we have Tina White on the phone. Tina, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I am doing really good this morning.
Boy, I sure have been enjoying some mighty good cake, I'll tell you right now.
Well, good. I hope you really have. The Christmas season is a time for giving.
Well, it still is. We're still enjoying. We have not eaten it all yet. We couldn't eat all in one sitting, but we take a little bite here and a little bite there. And what was that, cream cheese?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
cream cheese pound cake. Yeah.
Good and moist. I thank you for that. Appreciate it.
Well, you are very welcome. My pleasure. It is 31 degrees up here in the Shingle Hollow. It's heavy frost again. I look out on the rooftops of my neighbors, and it just looks like a snow. So we may not get snow this year, but I'm enjoying the frost. Shingle Hollow Fire Department, they assisted Bills Creek with a possible house fire, and they also helped set up a landing zone for a medical flyout. And this morning, I want to say hello to Miss Nichols over at Accordius Nursing Home, which used to be White Oak Manor. Miss Nichols said that she listens every morning, and I want to just tell her hello. And Piney Knob Baptist Church has a Christmas play, the adult Christmas play this coming Sunday at 6 p.m. Everyone's invited to that. Pilgrim's Way has a birthday today. I have to put my eyeglasses on to read them. Well, no, it's actually for tomorrow, so it's not today. But their children's Christmas play is 11 a.m. on Sunday the 19th, and then their adult Christmas play will be on the 24th at 7 p.m. So that'll be a Christmas Eve special. And there's no birthdays on any of my calendars. And still not celebrating up here in Shingle Hollow. Birthdays, they're anniversaries anyway, but we can just celebrate life.
That's right. That's right. And I want to say good morning to Miss Nichols as well. Good morning, Miss Nichols.
We, WCAB has a lot of things going on with the recliner and then the, I've already lost the Chamber of Commerce doing their stuff, and then the family.
Oh, yeah.
So I've been praying about the family situation.
Well, thank you. I think it's going to, hopefully it'll come to some kind of conclusion today. Hopefully, we still have we've done a lot of work panning out every source we could find in the county. Nobody in the county has a house or an apartment or any place we could put them up yet. But right now, we think we might have maybe discovered something somewhere else. But we'll see what happens with that. Keep praying.
I will definitely do that. And I don't just say that I will be praying.
Thank you.
And I hope that everyone out there has a very safe and wonderful Tuesday, and I will talk to you tomorrow.
Thanks, Tina. Have a good one.
You too. Bye-bye.
You know, nothing strikes fear in the hearts of people more than receiving an IRS audit letter in the mail. Audits take much time away from your business and family, requiring you to gather mounds of records, and can become overwhelming unless you have someone you can depend on to take care of that for you. That's why we can recommend IE Accounting and Tax Service. Chris and his team of professionals are in the business to help. Even if you depended on someone else to prepare your taxes, IE Accounting and Tax Service will be glad to assist you or your company. Don't hesitate to call. As a small business owner, you have more important things to do than keep your own books. Why not let IE Accounting and Tax Service take care of that for you, so you can get back to the job of running your business? Consider their payroll solutions for your business, cash flow management, litigation support, and forensic investigation. Why not give them a call and see what they can do for your business? Here's that phone number, 828-395-1777. They're at 211 West Main Street, Spindale. Again, that's 395-1777, and it's spelled ARYEE.
Your car's best friend can be RS Speedy Lube Service Center. That's because RS Speedy Lube Service Center and Car Wash can keep your car or truck running clean with a regular oil change. They check the fluids and vacuum out the car and have you on your way in no time. Go next door for a radiator or transmission flush, brakes, exhaust, CV joints, and service for big trucks and campers also available. Pull next door to the RS Speedy Automatic Car Wash and make your car happy with a clean, all under and all over car wash. It's all at RS Service Center and Car Wash on Railroad Avenue in Rutherfordton.
Now let's get the BK report from Upstate Union Mills. Good morning, Brenda.
Good morning. How are you on this terrific cold Tuesday morning?
Is it cold up there?
Yeah, I got 26 degrees on the front porch.
Wow.
That classifies as cold on it.
I'd say so. Yeah, we're only 30, so you walk out on the porch, you see your breath, right?
That's exactly right, and all the frost everywhere that looks like snow.
Yeah, it does.
Well, if we don't get a snow, we can say, well, at least we seen stuff that looked like it.
We had a snow junior snow.
Yeah, there you go. So I just caught the tail end of what you were saying about the Christmas family a while ago. You still hadn't found a place for them to live, right?
Not anywhere right here. We think we may have found something somewhere else, but we may have to go out of the county to do it. But as long as we find them a place to sleep where it's warm and they can take a bath and have warm water and a place, a bed to sleep in, that's the main thing. So we probably going to have to move outside the county to do it because nobody here has anything available apparently.
Well,
so we're still working on it. We haven't given up yet.
Okay. Well, we just pray that they get something where they can have a decent life.
Yes.
Well, let's see. I don't have any birthdays or anniversaries. And in ways of announcements, Friday, December the 31st, ring in the new year with Union Mills Learning Center, starting at 5 p.m. Food available, $5 a meal. And various bands will begin at 6 p.m. and go until, and there's no admission, but they always have a tip jar for the band. So far, that's all I know of going on up here in Union Mills, so we're just waiting on Santa Claus.
Okay, you got a fire going, I guess?
Yes, I've got a fire going. My goodness, I'd be froze if I didn't.
Well, last night was one of those 3-dog nights, I think. You could just...
I guarantee you, my booger dog used to sleep with me, but he's been gone now for almost 2 years. But I said after that I wasn't going to have no dog up in my bed, so... My little old short-legged beagle, he can't get up there. There's lots of times he sits there and looks at me with them sad eyes and wants up there, but I won't put him up there.
Come on, Brenda. Put him up there.
No, he can sleep in here in the recliner next to the heater. I got 2 recliners, and right now there's a dog in each one of them.
Well, at least they're warm and cozy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, they are.
Well, listen.
And Big Dog, he stays outside, but he's got plenty of cover in there and fresh water and food every day, so
okay, all right.
He's took care of too.
Well, listen, you have a wonderful day up there, and I'll check in with you tomorrow.
Okay, catch you later.
Thanks, Brenda. Bye-bye.
It can be a tough call when it comes time to provide a daycare service for an aging parent or a loved one. You can always depend on Rutherford Life Services for a safe facility that offers medical monitoring, nutritional meals, fun activities, and is a loving environment. Rutherford Life is licensed by the State of North Carolina Division of Aging. They will be glad to answer any questions you may have. Call them at 288-1697. Rutherford Life Services offers a trained staff of professionals who you can entrust your loved one to. Rutherford Life Services is located at 230 Fairground Road in Spindale.
Friday morning at 10 minutes after 8 o'clock, will your name be the one called out, having won $8,000? Could be if you've got a ticket. If you don't have a ticket, it won't be called out. You'll be missing out on the fun. So we have a few tickets left. They tell me at the chamber, so let me know if you need one, and we'll get you a ticket so you can be in the running, and perhaps your name will be called out Friday morning at 10 minutes after 8 o'clock. Right now we're going over to Ellenboro and talk with Luther Gilligan and see what's happening over there. Good morning, Luther.
Good morning. Not a whole lot happening this morning. It all happened yesterday.
What happened yesterday?
Well, let's see. Fire department had 1 medical call, had 1 control burn, had 1 chimney fire, had 1 mobile home fire, and let's see. Then they had 2 medical calls. But they quieted down this morning about 2 o'clock when I got through with the last part this morning.
Well, they need to rest this morning, don't they?
Yeah, they're sitting back drinking coffee this morning. But they're having a good time relaxing.
Good.
But that's about all that's going on down here, and nothing else going on. So, Jim, you have a great day up there. We'll talk to you in the morning.
Stay out of the middle of the road, and I'll see you tomorrow.
All right, take care now.
Bye. That's Luther Gilligan reporting out of Ellenboro. Busy fire district over there yesterday. 49 past 7, time for birthdays and anniversaries for the 14th of December. Almost half of the month's gone. December 14th, if you're celebrating, call us now. Let us celebrate with you. We'll give you a big shout-out. We've got a list already back here at the Blue Room of folks celebrating birthday, and Todd may have some too. And the phone starts ringing. That'll be birthdays. 287-3356. Birthdays coming up. Nobody gets a better deal than the customers at Sisk Family Ford. They have a proven record of the best deals. Sisk Family Ford, Rutherford County's only locally owned new car dealer, has recently been recognized as the #1 Ford dealer in customer satisfaction in the Southeast. That speaks well of their commitment to serve their customers well. Look for all the new design 2021 F-150 at Rutherford County's only locally owned new car dealership. That's Sisk Family Ford, Oak Street, Forest City.
Another season has come and gone, and you're still looking at that same sad-looking sofa or recliner. Well, now's the time to change the inside of your home to look as pretty as colors outside. And the perfect place to start is the Recliner Center. Right now at the Recliner Center, everything is 20% off. That's 20% off sofas, recliners, sofa recliners. If someone you love is having trouble standing, the Recliner Center has all lift chairs on sale for 10% off. All lift chairs, 10% off. Now, some of these chairs can take you from a standing position, then safely back down to a sitting position with no effort on your part whatsoever. Angela is cleaning out merchandise to make room for more. So now's your chance to redecorate your home and take advantage of the great savings at the Recliner Center. All lift chairs, 10% off. Everything else is 20% off. Angela is seeing folks by appointment only, so call 828-395-3562. Call her today. The Recliner Center. They're on Cooper's Gap Road in Rutherfordton.
Well, breakfast is being served at Grady B's this morning. They start breakfast as early as 7 o'clock over there, up until about 11. So if you're hungry for breakfast, head on over to Granny B's this morning and see what's in store for you and your friends. Or maybe take a big load of eggs and bacon and biscuits back to work with you. Either way, you'll be satisfied with your trip to Granny B's for breakfast, including that delicious Daylight Donuts. Happy birthday. Well, we got folks having birthdays today. Matthew Hurd of Golden Valley turns 40 today, so Matthew, happy birthday. My friend Tony Helton's having a birthday today. For Poeple is also celebrating. Ann Melton is having a birthday today. Perry Hughes celebrating. And George Smith over in Bostic also having a birthday today. Birthdays also include 1503. Many of you remember him. He was Nostradamus, died in 1566. Any of you go to his birthday party? 1902, Frances Bavier. Aunt B was born and she died in 1989. 1932, Charlie Rich, country singer, was born, died in 1995. 1946, Patty Duke, an actress, was born. She died in 2016. Events on this day, 1793, the first state road authorized goes from Frankfort, Kentucky to Cincinnati. 1819, Alabama admitted to the Union as the 22nd state. 1903, Wright brothers attempt to fly the Wright flight for the first time at Kitty Hawk. 1911, Norwegian expedition, I get it right in a minute, is the first to reach the South Pole. 1961, Jimmy Dean's Big Bad John, his first country song to get a gold record. Today is National Alabama Day and something we celebrate around here, National Monkey Day. So now you're up to date on this date in history here on WCAB. Keys to Confident Living coming up, top of the hour. Andrew Tisdale will be here. My Great America with Jim and the Butch, 9:05.
It was a blistering hot day, the house was full of guests, and things weren't going too well. Finally, the hostess got everyone seated for dinner and asked her 7-year-old daughter to say grace. "But Mother," said the little girl, "I don't know what to say." "Yes, you do," said her mother. "Just say the last prayer you heard me use." Obediently, the child bowed her head and recited hesitantly, "Oh Lord, why did I invite all these people on such a hot day?" This humorous illustration reminds us of the importance of teaching our children. If we see children as a reward or a gift from God, we will sense an accountability to Him for their training. In one of our baby dedication ceremonies, we asked the parents of the children, "Do you recognize the serious responsibility which comes to you with the gift of this child, and that it is your duty to teach and train them from their earliest years for the service of God, as He instructed His servants of old? And do you recognize it is your duty and sacred trust to bring them up in the nurture and the admonition of the Lord?" All parents teach their children. It is just a matter of what they are teaching and how it is taught. God has entrusted all parents with a very special task. This is Bill Hostler with today's Key to Confident Living.
Your official Christmas station for Rutherford County and the Foothills is WCAB Rutherford.
WCAB
Restaurant. He called his brother back at the steakhouse.
I told him, I said, I don't care what people are doing, if they're still eating or whatever, just shove everybody out the door. So he said less than 10 minutes before it hit.
Now the building that was a buggy dealership, later a restaurant, has been reduced to bricks and broken lumber. Jim Ryan, ABC News, Murray, Kentucky.
The House will vote soon on whether to hold former White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows in criminal contempt. ABC Chief Washington correspondent Jonathan Karl.
It's clear, fully expected that Congress will vote to hold him in contempt. The thing that is not clear is whether or not the Justice Department will do what they did in the case of Steve Bannon and actually go the next step, which is to prosecute him. Of course, if the Justice Department prosecutes him, he could face up to a year in prison.
This is the one-year anniversary of the Sandy Hook massacre. The first graders killed that day would have been in high school, sophomores by now. You're listening to ABC News.
Fever is the leading symptom of COVID and the flu, and the only way to reliably detect it is with an accurate thermometer. Be vigilant and be accurate with the Exergen Temporal Scanner, whose accuracy has been proven in more than 100 clinical studies. Don't rely on non-contact thermometers. They are proven to be inaccurate and will not reliably detect a fever that might mean COVID. Be sure to seek medical advice at the first sign of fever. Learn more at Exergen.com.
Millions of people use Zoom Phone, the innovative and feature-rich cloud phone system for businesses of any size. Zoom Phone is simple to use, whether you're on a mobile device, desktop, laptop, or desk phone. And because every call is important to your business, Zoom Phone was built with reliability in mind, using geographic redundancy to keep your communications online. Empower your workforce with Zoom Phone. Visit zoom.com/phone system. Zoom, how the world connects.
A South Dakota hockey team now apologizing after backlash over a fundraiser for classrooms. ABC's Mona Kosar-Abdi.
The so-called Dash for Cash event featured a pile of $5,001 bills and pitted teachers against each other, racing to scoop up as much cash as they could for their classroom. The hockey team releasing a statement saying, quote, although our intent was to provide a positive and fun experience, we can see how it appears to be degrading. We apologize for any embarrassment.
The Teachers Union in South Dakota says on average, teachers there spend $750 every year out of their own pockets on supplies for their classrooms. New research now shows a bump in vaccination rates in places that require COVID cards to get into nightclubs.
A study in the journal Lancet Public Health finds COVID-19 vaccinations increased in 6 countries, which implemented certifications, also known as vaccine passports, needed to get into businesses or events. Researchers say the largest increase came in residents under 30, as well as those under 20 when Switzerland specifically instituted restrictions on nightclubs. The authors say passports could help increase vaccinations in complacent groups, but they also say things like trust in authorities and pandemic trajectory need to be considered. Daria Albinger, ABC News.
Changes in Vegas, the Mirage Hotel and Casino being sold for more than $1 billion to Hard Rock, which plans to build a guitar-shaped hotel on the site. This is ABC News.
What's all the buzz about nasal irrigation and navage? Here's the science. Airborne germs invade through your nose. When your nose gets clogged, it's less effective and germs multiply. Eventually, your immune system can get overwhelmed and you get sick. Navage pulls out the bad stuff so you can breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier. At Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, Bed Bath, and Walmart. Or go to Navage.com for a free gift with purchase. Navage, Navage.
Sherry Preston, ABC News.
Today we're going to see a lot of sunshine with high pressure in place. It's going to be a pleasant one. Highs will reach the upper 50s and mid-60s. Overnight will fall into the upper 20s and mid-30s under mostly clear conditions. Tomorrow will be slightly milder with highs in the mid-50s and mid-60s with increasing clouds. We do have near record warmth possible by Friday, and then a cold front will move through by Saturday, bringing much needed rain. I'm meteorologist Peter Sherwood at the Weather Center.
Well, we're just about to push that freezer locker door open. It's 32 degrees, warming up today to 64, so we'll have a nice warm spell coming up sometime around noonish probably today with light wind blowing. Tonight it's dropping back to about where we are right now, 33 for the overnight low tonight and mostly clear. The moon's almost full. By the weekend we should have a full moon shining bright, the Carolina moon over there. The next rainfall looks like maybe around Saturday night, Sunday night, but light chances of that happening here on this week before Christmas. And, of course, Friday morning, just a few more minutes, Friday morning, 10 minutes after 8, we'll have the big drawing for the Chamber Raffle. $8,000, $1,500, and $500 will be won by somebody. If your name's in there, it could be you. If your name's not there, it could be. We have a few tickets left to put in that drawing, so contact me a little after 9:30 this morning. I have a few left over right here at the radio station. Tar Heels playing Furman tonight. 5:30 airtime, 6 o'clock pregame, 7 o'clock tip-off. UNC and Furman right here tonight on the Most Sports for the Foothills. And coming up this hour, I'm going to tell you the top 10 politically correct Christmas carols somebody put together. A little pun there, a little tongue-in-cheek, but it should be interesting to see what those top 10 politically correct Christmas carols are, and I think you'll grin at some of them. And Andrew Tisdale is in the room, and we always grin when he walks in. We'll have him on in just a moment.
At Smith Drugs of Forest City, we are continue to offer the COVID-19 rapid testing and the COVID-19 vaccinations. Please call our pharmacy at 828-245-4591 with any questions or concerns that you may have. You may also visit our website at smithsdrugsfc.com and schedule your COVID rapid 19 test or your vaccination. Again, if you have any questions, please call our pharmacy at 828-245-4591.
It's that time again, time to get the flu vaccines. And Smith Drugs in Forest City has the flu vaccinations available. Walk-ins Monday through Friday and Saturdays by appointment. And Smith Drug is asking all their Dream Station and System 1 CPAP customers to call if you need any help with registering your recalled devices. Just call the Home Medical Department for any help or with questions at 828-245-4591. And Smith Drugs has the Moderna and Pfizer initial shots and the boosters. They also have the flu vaccines, and November is Diabetes Month. Get 10% off diabetic socks for the month of November at Smith Drugs of Forest City.
Right now at 8:08. It's Andrew Tisdale time in the Blue Room, and he's right here with us right now, facing the microphone to say good morning. Good to you. How you doing? Good morning.
Good. You're just tricking me. You had it here, and then you had it here. What you going to do next week?
Make sure you stay alert. I may have it right here where I'm sitting next week.
Really?
You're behind the big box.
I do not feel qualified to sit in that chair.
Oh, you could handle it. You could handle it.
That's just it'd be an honor, but I'll tell you what, I don't know if I just can. It's like speaking in the pulpit. I don't think I qualify.
I'll bet you could do it. What you got on your mind today?
So there's 3 real simple levels of wealth. There is building the wealth, there's living off the wealth, and there's preserving the wealth. But all of them are feeling the crunch right now because of one obstacle. And it's something we've lived with forever and ever, and we're going to live until the world ends and we're all at home. And it's called inflation. So how can I, no matter what stage of wealth building I'm in, whether it's building it to live off of or preserve it for future generations, what can I do to help preserve it, help live off of it, help grow it when inflation is chipping away at it so much? The biggest suggestion goes for all 3 of us, no matter what stage we're in. Look at your investments. We cannot keep pace with inflation if we put everything under our mattress. When it's under your mattress, it's not going to produce you any type of return. Look at where you're growing. If you're living off of your wealth, look at where you're drawing it from. What if I'm only gaining 0.5% in my IRA, but yet inflation is going up 5 and 6%? Then you're losing money. What if I'm trying to save and save and save, and I'm putting it in money markets and things, but it's only growing at 0.5%? You're losing money. If I'm trying to preserve it for future generations so that they can have a good start in life, or pass it on to future generations so they can go to college or anything like that, and I'm only gaining 0.5% return, even 1% of return, I'm not meeting my goal. So what kind of investments are there that will help you do that? Inflation protection bonds, dividend paying stocks, good solid mutual funds. It's time to, actually a great time for anybody to look down at their portfolio, whether it's in a bank or in other stocks or mutual funds or bonds, even if it's in real estate, and say, okay, what can I do to help combat this pesky little thing called inflation?
It's something we hear about on the news all the time, but it does affect us.
It does, and it's always been around. It's never going to go away. Inflation's here. However, when we understand that and accept that, we can be prepared.
Yeah, and sometimes it's worse than other times.
Right now it's pretty. Yeah.
Yeah.
He'd been sleeping a while. He just decided he was a little hungry, so he just come back.
Edward Tisdale, financial advisor with Edward Jones, making sense of investing. You can get your questions answered by contacting Andrew at the office there on Railroad Avenue, 173 Railroad Avenue, there in the Food Lion Shopping Center, or you can give him a call at 828-287-9197. He has the answers to your questions about how to make sense of your financing and how to put some legs to them and make them grow a little bit.
And just fight inflation.
Fight inflation.
Yep. I hope y'all have a great day.
Have a good week, and I'll see you next week.
That sounds good.
All right.
See you.
12 minutes after 8, we have news from here and there coming up right after this.
It's not any wonder when Santa pulls his list together, Butler's Jewelry and Loan is right at the top. There is a reason for that. Butler's carries what folks love to get for Christmas, jewelry. A beautiful selection of jewelry, and they do jewelry repair too. Check out the cost of sunglasses. Plenty of guns, ammo, and each trip to Butler's Jewelry and Loan will be time well spent. Remember, free gift wrapping. Butler's will have extended hours during the carriage and hayride nights. Downtown Forest City, be a smart Santa. Shop Butler's Jewelry and Loan.
They indeed do have some beautiful jewelry there in Butler's Jewelry. Go by and take a look for that special gift, from a simple piece to something more complex. It is beautiful, and you can find something in your price range there as well. And right next, across the hallway there, you can find Betty at Norm's Coins and find something there as well. Some news from here and there. Let's look at some stories. Scott Carpenter is reporting in the Daily Courier that the Rutherford County schools are returning to mask mandates. Students and staff had a period of 6 days when wearing masks was optional. That changed when the transmission rate of COVID-19 in Rutherford County began to worsen. Parents were informed last weekend that beginning Monday, masks are once again required in the classroom setting in all facilities of Rutherford County schools. RCS administration made the decision based on the Board of Education's policy, which was reaffirmed at the December 7th board meeting. According to the policy, masks will be required when the COVID transmission rate is considered high, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, or the CDC. When the designation improves to substantial for 7 consecutive days, then masks become optional again. If the transmission is designated moves back to high for 7 consecutive days, masks become required once again. RCS issued a statement that read in part, quote, based on national data maintained by CDC, COVID-19 transmission within Rutherford County has worsened from substantial to high for 7 consecutive days. Given that sustained increase in COVID-19 community transmission, Rutherford County schools will transition from optional to required use of face coverings within the classroom setting effective immediately, end quote. Masks are still required for all occupants of white and yellow school buses, including passengers, drivers, and other occupants, according to a federal order that was put in place January the 29th. Rutherford County Board of Education Chairman Philip Morris said Monday that the board policy is working well. I think the community is on board with our policy for the most part, Morris said. Members of the public do seem to understand. Just over 1 week remains before RCS students will be on a Christmas break, and I hope that overall our COVID conditions will improve and we can soon go back to masks being optional. Rutherford County has had a total of 342 COVID deaths. This is more than in each of the surrounding counties of Cleveland, Polk, McDowell, and Burke. Well, a story we mentioned yesterday, and a little more information. The suspect in Thursday night's fatal stabbing in Lake Lure surrendered to authorities Sunday morning outside a church. Nicholas Dwayne Smith, 42, surrendered to deputies with the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office around 8:30 a.m. outside Mount Lebanon Church in Bostic. Smith reportedly approached someone at the church about wanting to turn himself in to law enforcement. That led to a 911 call. It wasn't until deputies arrived that they knew the suspect was indeed Smith, wanted for the slaying of Reginald Randy Vess, 53, outside his Lake Lure residence at 2511 Bills Creek Road, according to Sergeant Jimmy Upton. Smith told investigators that he had been holed up beneath a bridge near the church since the stabbing 3 days earlier. He also told investigators that he had walked to the Bostic location from Lake Lure following the slaying of Vess. Detectives also learned that Vess and Smith had gotten into an argument over Smith's extended use of Vess's truck. The argument escalated with Smith allegedly stabbing Vess outside of the victim's home they shared, and after the stabbing, Smith told a neighbor about the fight and stabbed him before he asked the neighbor to get help for Vess. The victim, however, had succumbed to his injuries by the time help arrived. Deputies responded to the scene Thursday at 11:08 p.m. and found Vess deceased on the ground near a logging trailer on the property. Through the use of a search warrant, authorities recovered what they believe to be the weapon used inside the vehicle on the property, according to Sheriff Chris Francis. Authorities had been looking for Smith since the slaying. Investigators are now awaiting the results of Vess's autopsy. That story from the Daily Courier. Well, it is good news to some. The North Carolina Forest Service has officially lifted the ban on all open burning for all 100 counties across the state after 2 weeks of hazardous forest fire conditions. The burn ban, which went into effect November 29th, was lifted for 67 counties on December the 8th. As of noon December 13th, the ban has been lifted for all 33 remaining counties. Agriculture Commissioner Steve Proctor said in a press release, "We saw some much-needed rain during the weekend, and that has thankfully helped bring fire danger down, allowing us to lift burn ban restrictions statewide." Proctor went on to say, "I'd still caution residents to remain vigilant about burning responsibly and safely. Make sure you have a valid burn permit and contact your NCFS county ranger for wildlife prevention and fire safety tips." Well, those of you who know about the Chamber of Commerce know they have been very active for a long time in this county, a very strong element to the growth of Rutherford County. And after decades, our current chairman, Clark Poole, is retiring as executive director of the Rutherford County Chamber of Commerce. He leaves the post at the end of December. Article written by Scott Carpenter, Poole said, "For 10 years I had the opportunity to work with a truly great bunch of people who are always willing to help. It has been my honor and privilege to work here." Poole led the chamber during the difficult periods of economic recession and the past 2 years during the COVID-19 pandemic. He says the goodness of the people was magnified during the pandemic. When COVID hit, the business people I had conversations with were primarily concerned with how they can help out their employees. That's what I see in Rutherford County, people who care. He believes the people of Rutherford County, shared values and sense of community are what made Rutherford County special and attractive to others. Poole went on to say so many people who visit here make comments like, "I can't believe how friendly everyone is, how hospitable." That's one of the reasons that people like visiting here, and some are choosing to move here and start businesses here, Clark said. Clark said that even though the state recently rated Rutherford as among one of the more economically distressed counties, Rutherford County is poised for economic growth. The future of the Rutherford County is bright, Poole said. He noted the thriving locally owned businesses and the new, more recent national chain businesses that have come or announced plans to come to Rutherford County. Rutherford County has solid leadership from the county commissioners and county government to our local municipal leaders, as well as our education leaders. They have a vision, and they're working diligently to see that vision come to pass. Clark Poole said Rutherford County leaders care about raising the quality of life for all residents. This is evident, he said, by the efforts being made to address affordable housing as well as food instability along with poverty-related issues. The wonderful traits in this county are used by locals as well as attractive visitors from throughout the region, Poole said. These things don't just happen haphazardly. There has to be leadership. And in the big picture, Poole says these are things that would contribute to economic growth. As he leaves the post at the chamber, Poole and his wife Teresa will take a long vacation and will have time to consider his future, but he says they will continue to live in Rutherford County. The Pooles have an adult son and daughter who are twins, as well as a grandson who is in college in Charlotte. At a recent reception held in his honor, Poole was given a plaque and the oversized scissors he often used for official ribbon cuttings. He was also given a letter of congratulations from U.S. Senator Tom Tillis. Aston Turnage of Kernersville will become the Chamber Executive Director in January. And many of you know Clark has been on this radio show many times talking about the growth of the Chamber and what the Chamber has been doing, and he will be greatly missed. He has been a great asset to Rutherford County, and it would be wise for somebody to pick him up after he retires, gets off his rest and vacation, because he can add so much to whoever decides to use him as as a retired worker that he could work very well with. And come Friday morning, 10 minutes after 8 o'clock, we'll have the drawing the Chamber of Commerce does. The raffle is a big money maker for the Chamber, and Clark will be here live in the studio doing that drawing. We'll be doing that live over the Facebook, over our streaming system on the website, and through the radio as well. So if you have a ticket, you'll be in the drawing. If you don't have a ticket, there's still a little bit of time to get your ticket. If you'll see me real soon, I'll be off the air about 9:30 this morning. Be glad to help you out. All right, 21 past 8 o'clock. The Sheriff's Report with Sheriff Fritz Francis coming up here in just a moment, plus a lot of other news from here and there. And I've got for you the top 10 politically correct Christmas carols. I know you'll get a little chuckle out of some of those.
Well, folks, it's that time of year to start thinking about Christmas shopping. Let Infinity Games and Toys help make it a little easier for you. They have a large selection of Funko Pops, over 200 to choose from. They also carry Pokemon cards, lots of board games, novelty candy, and pre-made fidget boxes already packaged in Christmas boxes. They make great Christmas stocking stuffers. Take a break from shopping and enjoy a board game inside Infinity Games. Shop local. Shop Infinity Games and Toys. Located at 243 North Main Street, Rutherford. Hours are Wednesday and Thursday, noon until 8 p.m., Friday, noon until 10 p.m., Saturday and Sunday, noon until 5 p.m. Shop local. Support all local businesses in Rutherford County. Call Infinity Games and Toys at 828-829-5851.
Well, if Todd says it, I believe it. So go by Infinity Games and Toys and find the perfect gift for someone in your family or a special friend.
For a delicious meal every day, call on Gregory's Original. Choose from their top menu of burgers, subs, grinders, pasta dishes, fresh salads, and so much more. All dishes are prepared fresh daily. Hours are Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. until 9 p.m., Saturday, noon until 9 p.m. Now at Gregory's, try the family-style meals. The dining room is now open, but curbside and takeout is still available. Enjoy lunch or dinner today with your favorite meal from Gregory's. Call 287-2171, located in the Park Lane Plaza in Rutherford. Gregory's Original.
Christmas shopping is easy and fun when you shop at Pittman's Designs and Boutique. Lisa has a beautiful store full of the popular Simply Southern t-shirts, hoodies, totes, jewelry, clothing, caps, little girl bows, travel bags, and she also does beautiful vinyl names or initials on glasses and other items. Get all this at Pittman's. They make great gift ideas, and now through Christmas, all merchandise is 20% off. Hours are Tuesday through Friday, 10 to 6, Saturday, 10 to 3. Pittman's Designs and Boutique, 288 Main Street in Ellenboro, or call 828-447-2669.
Well, we're running out of time real quickly before sports. If it's okay with everybody, I'm going to hold the Sheriff's Report over till we get past 8:30 because sports is coming up here in about 25 seconds. And I've stepped on it a lot because of the length of time we have in here. Step on that a lot and news a lot, but I know you're forgiving of that. So this morning, the Sheriff's Report will be aired after 8:30, so hang around for that, and I'll be coming up real soon. Don't forget to get your cards into us to be in the drawing for the recliner. We'll be doing that on Christmas Eve here live on the radio, and somebody's going to win a beautiful leather recliner from the Recliner Center. I tell you, it's something else, isn't it?
NCN Sports. Good morning. I'm Tony Rixby. Mike Elko officially has been named the new head football coach at Duke University, introduced at a press conference on Monday. He spent the past 4 years as the defensive coordinator at Texas A&M. He replaces David Cutcliffe, who was fired after the first winless conference campaign in 14 years. Before Cutcliffe joined the Duke program, the Blue Devils may have been the worst FBS program in the country. Though he didn't mention Cutcliffe by name on Monday, Elko did acknowledge that the program had improved dramatically over the last few years.
There was a track around the football field. We didn't have that great tower. We didn't have this great practice complex. And so there's a lot of things about Duke right now that are not the same as Duke 15 years ago. And that's a winning tradition a little bit over the recent history, too.
Prior to being named defensive coordinator at Notre Dame, Elko had coached at Wake Forest under Dave Clawson for 12 seasons. Monday Night Football, the Rams cutting into the Cardinals division lead. Here's Dave Ferry.
The NFC West is a little tighter after the second-place Rams earned a 30-23 victory at Arizona. Matthew Stafford threw for 287 yards and 3 touchdowns, hitting Cooper Kupp 13 times for 123 yards and a score.
Just proud of those guys. In the past game, did a great job of getting open, making catches. Our guys up front dominated the line of scrimmage. That's where it starts for us. Sony did a great job of falling forward on some runs. There was a 3rd and 1 run in the red zone where it's him and 34 in the hole. He just runs them over for the first.
Van Jefferson caught a 52-yard scoring strike early in the third quarter to put the Rams ahead to stay. Kyler Murray's 2 interceptions led to Los Angeles touchdowns as the Cardinals failed to clinch their first playoff berth since 2015. Arizona now leads the division by 1 game over Los Angeles. I'm Dave Ferry.
Dallas Mavericks last night routing the Charlotte Hornets 120-96. You're listening to NCN Sports.
With the potential threat of COVID-19, getting your kid vaccinated as soon as possible is really the right move to make.
Vaccinating our kids will protect them from severe disease, will prevent them from hopefully spreading it to other people who may not be able to get the vaccine.
Our whole goal is to help your child and your family be as safe and healthy as possible.
Kids have a spot
to take their shot.
Kids have a spot to take their shot.
Everyone 5 and older can get a COVID-19 vaccine. Visit myspot.nc.gov.
With the new law, more people qualify for financial assistance at healthcare.gov. Real customers like Taylor.
You know, I wish people knew how easy it was to get health coverage. This new law has made it so affordable. I'm only paying $52 a month, but there are quality plans for even less.
New law, lower prices, more people qualify. Enroll by December 15th at healthcare.gov.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
The NFL has updated its COVID protocols, or what the league calls its top 2 tiers of staff members who've already been vaccinated. CBS NFL insider and NFL reporter Jonathan Jones.
I think that we're going to see a greater testing cadence, and there is a meeting of all NFL team owners taking place in the Dallas area this week. And I think at that meeting, there's going to be more discussion as the NFL presents its findings to ownership. And I believe that the NFL will continue to work with the Players Association to try to find the best testing cadence as they wrap up the regular season and into the postseason.
Baylor number 1, Duke number 2 in the latest AP college basketball poll. Tony Rixby, NCN Sports.
Thanks very much, Tony Rixby, for that report here on WCAB. It's 8:29, and the Sheriff's Report is next. Sheriff Chris Francis.
In the last 24 hours, the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office has responded to 203 calls for service. There have been 18 arrests processed in the county jail. Currently incarcerated, we have 187. Among those arrested, Darian Akil Brown, 20-year-old male of Forest City, was charged with flee to elude arrest, trafficking opium, possession with intent to manufacture, sell, and deliver opium, maintain a vehicle for controlled substance, driving while license revoked, and reckless driving. Received a $101,000 secure bond. We also had Brooklyn Mackenzie Logan, 24-year-old female of Spindale, charged with failure to appear and received a $500 bond. Lenya Markel Murray, 20-year-old female of Spindale, was charged with failure to appear and received a $1,000 bond. Juana Devon Ray, 26-year-old male, was charged with 3 counts of failure to appear and received a $500 unsecured bond. Michael Brant Free, 29-year-old male of Rexton, was charged with felony probation violation. And Tammy Renee Sykes, 49-year-old female of Ellenboro, was charged with second-degree trespass. Among our incidents, we had a shooting into an occupied dwelling. This occurred at Doggett Grove Road. A trailer was struck. It appears someone had been target shooting with a rifle through the woods from this residence, and at least one round did enter the residence going into interior wall. No one was hurt, but it still is under investigation. And Jim, that's what we had to report today.
Thank you, Sheriff Chris Francis, for that report. Now, those of you who are UNC fans and those of you who are Furman fans, there's 1 or 2 of you out there, I believe. We have a game tonight, UNC and Furman, 5:30 airtime, 6 o'clock pregame, and 7 o'clock tip-off. We'll have that action for you this coming up Friday evening at 8 o'clock as we prepare to gear in toward the celebration of the birth of Christ. Orson Welles' Scrooge at 8 o'clock on Friday night. Top 100 Christmas songs at 8 o'clock on Saturday night. Red, White, and Blue Christmas starring Kelly Clarkson, sponsored by the U.S. Air Force on Sunday night at 8 o'clock. So a lot of Christmas programs geared up for you to enjoy the best of the holiday seasons. And coming up, more from news from here and there and the top 10 politically correct Christmas songs. All that straight ahead.
Today, we're going to see a lot of sunshine with high pressure in place. It's going to be a pleasant one. Highs will reach the upper 50s and mid 60s. Overnight, will fall into the upper 20s and mid 30s under mostly clear conditions. Tomorrow will be slightly milder with highs in the mid 50s and mid 60s with increasing clouds. We do have near record warmth possible by Friday, and then a cold front will move through by Saturday, bringing much needed rain. I'm meteorologist Peter Sherwood at the Weather Center.
Well, we're just about ready to push that lid up from the freezer locker. It's 32.9. Just a little bit, we'll be out of that freezer. Moving toward our daytime high of 64 degrees. Don't anticipate any rain until the weekend again, but we will have some breezy conditions on Friday. The wind will be gusting to about 14 miles per hour. And then again on Saturday, gusting winds 14 miles per hour and mostly cloudy with scattered showers. That big rainstorm, I guess it was, I was in here busy, but when I got home, it had wind had blown, the rain had picked up really heavy, and it ripped my flag off my flagpole. My rope broke. My flag was on top of the garage, on the roof there at the top of my garage. When I got home, I had to, force the flag was ripped. So I got to get a new flag and a new rope and get the new flag back up there again. So that's how strong it was. I didn't realize when I left here and got home, it had settled down, but blew a lawn chair across the yard. So it was quite windy around on Saturday. But it's going to be a beautiful, beautiful week this week. Well, the on again, off again, on again, off again, on again, off again is on again. More detailed plans for developing Ghost Town are appearing. The key developer presented the more complete concept Monday to several Maggie Valley residents and business people. But before it can come to fruition, there are still hurdles to clear. News 13 is reporting the story. Frankie Wood is the primary representative for the Ghost Town development team that wants to revive the old amusement park from the bottom level all the way up to the top of the mountain. Hopefully it will get off the ground here soon where we can at least start moving forward, he says. Wood and his team hired Storyland Studios out of California to come up with the design, starting with the lowest level with the working title of Latitude Landing, the entrance to the park including a lodge-style hotel. The visitors can head up the mountain. We'd like to bring back the cabin, or rather the cable lift, but this time use more of a enclosed gondola, says Studios' Matt Ferguson. That would be a nod to the past, too, keeping Western town favorites like the cowboy stunt shows and reviving the can-can and music shows. There's even an idea of a roller coaster coming down the mountain to the park entrance, bringing some state-of-the-art attractions, and then also activate it as a retail, dining, and entertainment district that everyone can enjoy. Nearby businesses say would be boost the local the economy. The whole reason Sippers is here to begin with is because of Ghost Town, said Sippers in the Valley's Amber Keeney. If it doesn't open, this town is on the brink of dying, in my opinion, says Val Jean Hamilton, senior of Pop's Place Restaurant. There are variables to the plans Wood and his team have. Their business strategy involves not just Ghost Town, but also planned unit developments that could provide additional housing for Maggie Valley and many residents, taking note. All they care about is if they start trying to pile in mobile homes or anything like that, says resident David Labyrinth. Zoning laws are front and center with two newly elected members on the Board of Aldermen. Despite some obstacles along the way, Wood says he's sticking with the Ghost Town planning. We're hoping that it really works out. We've really tried to do everything by the book, says Wood. Wood and his team say bringing Ghost Town back to life would create 200 jobs. Well, it's been on again, off again, and I hope they indeed will bring it back. It's been a great asset to Western North Carolina and that little town, and it's been fun for many generations. But maybe if they want to argue over, why don't they contact the folks who put Dollywood together and let them prepare something? They seem to know how to do it. They seem to know how to plan a resort that's family friendly and nice for everybody. Well, during an interview Tuesday with Washington Post Live, Dr. Fauci was asked about all the onerous coronavirus restrictions people are facing. Well said, that is just the reality of the situation, Fauci replied. Still, people can host holiday get-togethers as long as they require attendees to provide proof of vaccinations, Fauci said. At the very least, guests should be required to attest to having been vaccinated. Fauci, you hear what he's saying? If you get together with your family and friends for the holidays for a big meal, you need to require proof of vaccinations before they can come. At the very least, guests should be required to attest to having been vaccinated, Fauci said. Well, yes, that is just the reality of the situation. I mean, one thing vaccinated people can feel comfortable, for example, let's take the holiday setting. You're with your family. You have grandparents and parents and children. When you get vaccinated and you have a vaccinated group and you're in an indoor setting, you can enjoy, as we have traditionally over the years, dinners and gatherings within the home with people who are vaccinated. And that's the reason why people should, if they invite people over to their home, essentially ask and maybe require that people show evidence that they are vaccinated or give their honest and good faith word that they have been vaccinated. Now, here you are standing at the door. You got friends and neighbors coming over for turkey on Christmas Day for dinner or Christmas Eve night for dinner, and you stop them at the door. Look, let me see your vaccination card. You can't come in unless you got your vaccination card. Let me see proof you've been vaccinated. But I'm your grandson. I don't care. Let me see your vaccination card. I don't have one. Get out of here. You're not coming in my house to eat turkey with us. Now, how silly is that? Well, Representative Rand Paul has been very outspoken to Fauci. On Thursday, he responded to Fauci's advice by tweeting that he will host a Christmas celebration of 57 strong, and none of them will have to show proof of vaccinations. However, there will be one and only one requirement for attendance. Paul explained, the only requirement is having read the Constitution. That's Senator Paul Rand. He is one of the most outspoken folks against, and he's a doctor, so he knows the science, and he's been outspoken for Fauci for some while now. The CDC announces that 79% of all U.S. Omicron cases have occurred in vaccinated individuals. See, folks, I don't make this stuff up. This is from Matters of Health. Published December the 10th at 5:18 p.m., 22 states have already reported at least one case of variant. The newest variant of COVID-19 is the Omicron strain. The Omicron variant is showing up all over the world, and now the Disease Control and Prevention has released a report outlining what is known so far about the new variant. The CDC report found that the majority of Americans who have been infected with Omicron were actually already vaccinated. Among these 43 cases of COVID-19 attributed to the Omicron variant, 79% occurred in persons who completed the primary series of an FDA-authorized or approved COVID-19 vaccine 14 days before symptoms onset or receipt of a positive SARS-CoV-2 test results. The figure included 14 individuals, or nearly a third, who had also received an additional booster boost of the vaccine. 22 states have already reported at least one case of the Omicron variant. South Africa was the first country to alert the rest of the world to the existence of Omicron in November, according to the Wall Street Journal, since the variant has been showing up in Europe, the UK, and the United States. Currently, the UK has the most cases of the Omicron variant, and the rest of the world is observing how the country is handling the new crisis. Prime Minister Boris Johnson began reimposing some COVID restrictions on the country in order to stop the spread of Omicron. We're seeing growth in cases here in the UK that now mirrors the rapid increases previously seen in South Africa. And South Africa has also seen hospitalizations roughly doubling in a week. The Biden administration similarly has begun encouraging new measures to protect Americans against the variant. Mr. Biden's top COVID advisors have sought to emphasize that existing vaccines and boosters should provide sufficient protection against the variant, but it's not doing so. It's another one thing after another. If you want to take it, folks. I'm not telling you not to do it. All right, let's see. It's 19 before 9 o'clock. My Great America with Jim and Butch is coming up at 9:05 this morning. Always interesting. We give you the top 10 politically correct Christmas carols. You know, everybody, not everybody, you and I don't, but some of these more left-leaning folks, everything's got to be politically correct. So here, somebody came up with Jason Roblogger's top 10 politically correct Christmas carols. Number 10, Frosty the Snow Person. Number 9, I'm Dreaming of a Multicultural Christmas. And number 8, Oh Come Let Us Adore Him or Her. 7, Jolly, Mature, Morally Gifted Nicholas. Jolly old St. Nicholas. Jolly, mature, morally gifted Nicholas. Number 6, Rudolph the Recovering Alcoholic Reindeer American. Red-nosed reindeer. Number 5, Vertically Challenged Drummer Child of Undetermined Gender. Little drummer boy. Oh Christmas Tree is Oh Holiday Tree. Number 3, Have Yourself a Merry Christmas is Have Yourself a Merry Little Day of Winter. And number 2, Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer. This one is Grandma Allegedly Got Run Over by a Non-Human Perpetrator. And number 1, I'll Be Home for Christmas. The politically correct one is I'll Be Home for a Short Period of Time in December. And Rudolph the Differently Abled Reindeer is another alternative to the real one. And chestnuts roasting on a safely maintained, continuously monitored, non-toxic, eco-friendly outdoor fire for which I do have a permit. Higher power, rest ye merry gentle people. Deck the halls with boughs of endangered foliage, if office policy allows. Hark the herald mythical winged creature sings. I saw Mommy greeting Santa Claus with a purely platonic expression of inoffensive mutual affection. We wish you a merry, non-religious, specific day off in winter. And oh come, all ye extreme loyalty to the non-material evidence. O devout night. O little town of Palestinian joint rule. And we 3 misogynist autocrats of Eastern Asia are. So there you go, folks. Those are just somebody's tongue-in-cheek way how silly the politically correct movement has gotten, that they indeed may change those great hymns of Christmas into something that's irrelevant. 8:44 right here on the Morning Wake Up Call, live from the Blue Room.
Shop like Santa this holiday season and stuff your stocking with savings from Bark Mobile. If your gift list calls for a new phone under the tree, how about a free LG Stylo 6 when you switch? Already got a phone that jingles your bells? Bring your own device and save $100. From unlimited data for just $35 per month per line with 2 lines on autopay to a $50 Fanatics e-code with the Unlimited Plus plan, nobody does holiday savings like Bark. Certain restrictions apply. See store for details or visit mybarkmobile.com/terms and conditions.
The holidays are fast approaching, and now's the perfect time to visit a new business, Different Times Mercantile. Owners Sheila and BC Deck offer new, old, and a little in-between merchandise. The store is full of antiques, collectibles, brand new clothing fashions, glassware, framed art, home decor, wreaths, holiday and seasonal, unique gifts, and jewelry. Open 7 days a week, Monday through Friday, 10 to 6, Saturday 10 to 5, and Sundays 1 to 5. Stop into Different Times Mercantile, 548 South Main Street in Rutherfordton. Find your timeless treasures only at Different Times Mercantile.
Folks, that is a real place. You should go by and visit that Different Times Mercantile right down 221 South Main Street there. The former barbecue restaurant, right pretty close there to the Dollar General. Go and look around. You'll be amazed at what's there. It is quite a place. You know the gift everyone would love to have is at Norm's Coins. Betty has all the Christmas rounds, a 2021 Silver Eagle, all proof sets, the Morgan and Peach dollars, gold pieces, and just about anything a coin collector would like to have. To make it more appealing to give coins, now's the fact that no sales tax on coins. Plenty of supplies for coin collecting, too. It's an exciting place to buy gifts for that special person in your life. Any questions about coins and currency, Betty has the answer. Norman's Coins, inside Butler's Jewelry and Loan, downtown Forest City. Let that gift earn its keep.
Saving money is easy when you shop at Jay's Discount Grocery. From snack foods to vegetables, fresh fruits to fresh cut meats, paper products, cleaning supplies, dog food, and so much more. You know, you just never know what you'll find at Jay's. So shop and save today. They're located at 671 Oak Street in Forest City, right beside the Hospice Resale Store. You know, when you shop at Jay's, you always walk out with money left over in your pocket.
3 big days coming up here in the next few weeks at WCAB. One of them, of course, is the drawing for the Chamber of Commerce raffle ticket on Friday about 10 minutes after 8 o'clock, and some money will be given away by the Chamber. It's a big fundraiser for them every year, and it's one of the big main fundraisers for them. It helps support them. So if you haven't got yours and would like to be a part of this, please consider doing that. That's Friday morning. And then on the 24th, on Christmas Eve, we'll be drawing for the free recliner to be given away by Angela Shook at the Recliner Center. Or to qualify there, all you have to do is get a Christmas card into us or a card into us with your name, your telephone number, and your address. And if you want to request your favorite song, please do that too. But get that into us. We have to have those in our hand by the 23rd in order to have them ready for the drawing on the 24th. So we'll have a drawing live here on the radio again, and somebody will win that recliner. Now, the other big event is, of course, our Christmas family that we're attempting to help. And a lot of complications up in this one, but we're going to overcome it. We're going to get beyond it, and we're going to make it happen. And I'm trying my best to keep you in the loop on this. There's some things, of course, I can't say at this point, but we are trying to keep you in the loop. Many of you have already stepped forward and done some things and helped financially, and I appreciate that. As soon as I learn more specifics, I will certainly let you know. But that's always a big thing for us here around WCB, is to help a Christmas family, and we'll keep you posted on that. Well, Donald Trump told Newsmax, despite woke cancel culture, America just loves Christmas. You do not have to be a Christian in America to enjoy Christmas season, according to former President Donald Trump on Newsweek, or rather Newsmax, who denounced the woke trying to cancel Christmas. America loves Christmas, Trump told Mike Huckabee on Newsmax 1-hour special, Christmas in America, which premieres Wednesday, December the 15th. That's tomorrow at 9 p.m. And whether you're a Muslim, whether you're a Christian, whether you're Jewish, everyone loves Christmas, and they'd say Merry Christmas until these crazy people came along and they wanted to stop it along with everything else. Trump noted his original Make America Great Again campaign that started in 2015 began with the push for Americans and the world to stop, to not fear saying Merry Christmas again. The country had started with this woke a little bit before that, and it was embarrassing for stores to say Merry Christmas. Trump tells Huckabee, you see these big chains, they want your money, but they don't want to say Merry Christmas. The war on Christmas did rear its head again this season as a conservative media outlet's tree was set on fire in New York City, a place Trump used to call home and now laments has been changed by poor Democrat leadership. When I started campaigning, he said, you're going to say Merry Christmas again. Trump recalls to Huckabee denouncing the origins of cancel culture that have permeated the fabric of America, and now people are saying it. Of course, they're not saying a lot of other things like George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, Thomas Jefferson. You know, those names are being obliterated because of craziness, he said. But they are saying Merry Christmas again. We got that. That was a big part of what I was doing. So he believes people believe in it and want to be able to celebrate and raise the spirits of everybody. And I agree with him, even though there are those who don't celebrate, and that's fine. If they have that feeling, that's fine. But I think the celebration of Jesus' birth, whatever calendar year it was, whatever time it was, a designated time set apart to recognize that, then that's great. And I think we should do that. Well, as a new CNBC survey finds the Republican Party has the greatest advantage over Democrats in the history of the news outlets polling on the matter. The CNBC All-American Economic Survey determined Congressional Democrats are in a very precarious place less than a year away from the 2022 midterms. Republicans now hold a 10-point advantage over Democrats on the generic ballot, 44 to 33%. CNBC noted that that's up from a 2-point advantage the GOP held in October. In the 20 years that CNBC and NBC have been asking the congressional preference question, the largest previous advantage Republicans ever held over Democrats is 4 points. If the election were tomorrow, it would be absolutely unmitigated disaster for the Democrats, said Jay Campbell, a partner at Hart Research Associates, who is a Democratic pollster. Inflation, which hit a 40-year high of 6.8% last month, is the top concern among voters. Americans' views on the state of the economy look to have helped drag down both President Joe Biden and the Democrats' numbers, according to CNBC. Biden is solidly underwater on those issues. Only 37% approve of his handling of the economy and 56% disapprove, which is down from 40% approval and 54% disapproval in the second quarter of this year. CNBC findings are consistent with the Real Clear Politics average of polls concerning the economy, which has Biden at 38.5% approval, 55.8% disapprove. In other words, he's underwater by over 17 points. Biden's overall approval in the CNBC poll is at 41%, with 50% disapproving. Historically, when the president's approval rating has dropped below 50%, his party has consistently, going back decades, faced a blowout in the House of Representatives in the midterms, which included a loss of control of the chamber. For example, Democrats lost 54 seats in 1994 when then President Bill Clinton's approval was at 48%. Republicans gave up 30 seats in 2016, or rather 2006, I believe it was, when then President George W. Bush's approval rating fell to 37%. 4 years later, in the 2010 midterms, then President Barack Obama's approval stood at 45%, and the GOP picked up 63%. Most recently, in 2018, when 40% of Americans approved of then President Donald Trump's handling of the job, Republicans lost 40 seats in the House. The GOP only needs to flip 5 seats to take back the majority of the House. The Senate is split evenly between the parties, 50 to 50. 11 months is a long time in politics, but as things stand now, a red wave is coming in November. This article appeared originally in the Western Journal. So there you go. That's what they're facing at this point in time. All right, let's see. We got dignitaries in the lobby here. $8:53, My Great America with Jimmy Butch coming up here at 9:05 this morning.
There are plenty of drugstores in Rutherford County, but not all of them offer the same personal customer service that is offered at the Medicine Box of Rutherfordton. Laura Hodge and her team have trusted experience and professional service. You're not just a number to them, you're a friend. Make the Medicine Box of Rutherfordton your hometown drugstore at 200 Charlotte Road in Rutherfordton. Open Monday through Friday, 9 to 6, Saturdays 9 to 1, 287-7117. The Medicine Box in Rutherfordton now has the flu shots available. No appointment is needed. And they also have the COVID and booster shots available. Appointment is preferred. When the custom cake has to be perfect, it needs to come from Southern Belle Cakes by Nikki Lee. Weddings, birthdays, baby showers, holiday cakes. Call on Southern Cakes by Nikki Lee. She does amazing work for special events like school packages for teachers, special events for corporations, treat tables for any event. Nikki also has pre-packaged Christmas treats like hot cocoa bombs, cupcakes,
88, even though officials in Kentucky think the number there could eventually surpass 80. ABC's Jim Ryan has more on two of the businesses hardest hit, the Candle Factory in Mayfield, Kentucky, and the Amazon Fulfillment Center in Edwardsville, Illinois.
MCP produces candles, a high-demand item at Christmas, which meant a full staff was working when the tornado crashed down, killing 8 people at the plant. Same story at the Amazon warehouse in Illinois, where the company's Kelly Nantel says.
By the time the warnings came through, we were, in a matter of minutes, it moved very quickly, and it was catastrophic.
Federal investigators, though, want to know whether adequate protection and emergency procedures were in place. The family of one of the 6 people killed has filed suit against Amazon. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
Congress is expected to hold former Trump Chief of Staff Mark Meadows in contempt for ignoring the January 6 committee's subpoena.
Before refusing to cooperate, Meadows had turned over thousands of documents, including text messages and emails on his personal cell phones. Liz Cheney, the top Republican on the committee, says that some of them are from the president's own son, pleading with Meadows to get his father to call off the riot. Cheney also disclosed text messages she says were from Fox News hosts to Meadows as Trump supporters rampaged inside the Capitol.
ABC Chief Washington correspondent Jonathan Karl. New York critical care nurse Sandra Lindsay, the first person in the U.S. to get the Pfizer vaccine a year ago today. At the time, she said,
I hope this marks the beginning to the end of a very painful time in our history.
Said she hoped it was the beginning of the end of a painful time in our history. On that day, the U.S. surpassed 300,000 dead from the virus. Today, the U.S. is about to surpass 800,000 dead. Pfizer's CEO expects FDA to recommend COVID pill by the end of the year. This is ABC News.
What's all the buzz about nasal irrigation and Navage? And should I try it? Here's the science. Airborne germs invade through your nose. It's the body's air filter for trapping allergens and viruses. When your nose gets clogged, it's less effective and germs multiply. Eventually, your immune system can get overwhelmed and you get sick. Nasal irrigation is an effective, all-natural way to clean your nose. It's not a drug, it's more like plumbing. Saline goes in one nostril, around the back of the nose and out the other nostril, flushing out mucus and germs. I'm Martin Hoke, and I invented Navage to make cleaning your nose easy. It's the world's only nose cleaner with powered suction. Navage pulls out the bad stuff so you can breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and feel healthier. At Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, Bed Bath, and Walmart. Or go to Navage.com for a free gift with purchase. Over 2 million sold. Navage, Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
More than 50 people killed in northern Haiti when a truck carrying gasoline exploded. Dozens more are hurt. No word on the cause. The prime minister is calling for 3 days of national mourning. Due in court today, the parents of the 15-year-old accused of opening fire in a school in Oxford, Michigan, killing 4, leaving several more hurt. Jennifer and James Crumley are facing involuntary manslaughter charges for allegedly supplying the gun to their son, Ethan. Today, the middle school in Oxford is closed.
Oxford Community Schools canceling classes once again today after receiving what officials called an image from social media that included a specific threat. It comes just 2 weeks after that mass shooting at the high school.
ABC's Christine Sloan. 11 days before Christmas, and we're starting to get an idea of just how busy the roads and the airports might be.
I'd now like to welcome aboard Group B.
You won't be alone as you board that flight. AAA is predicting over 109 million Americans will be traveling over Christmas and New Year's, way above Thanksgiving of this year and 92% of 2019 levels. Airlines are predicted to see a 184% increase in passengers over last year. Most of the 109 million will be on the road, but for those who are flying, the TSA says December 23rd and January 3rd will be the busiest travel days at airports. Atlanta, LA, and Denver are expected to be the busiest airports. Alex Stone, ABC News.
This is ABC News.
There's confusion about how to protect yourself from COVID. One thing is certain. Whether or not you're vaccinated, you need an accurate thermometer to check for fever, the leading sign of flu and COVID. Be vigilant and contact your medical provider at the first sign of fever. Don't rely on non-contact thermometers that have no scientific studies. Only the Exergen temporal scanner thermometer has been proven accurate in more than 100 clinical studies. Learn more at Exergen.com.
I'm Sherry Preston, ABC News.
Today, we're going to see a lot of sunshine with high pressure in place. It's going to be a pleasant one. Highs will reach the upper 50s and mid 60s. Overnight, will fall into the upper 20s and mid 30s under mostly clear conditions. Tomorrow will be slightly milder with highs in the mid 50s and mid 60s with increasing clouds. We do have near record warmth possible by Friday, and then a cold front will move through by Saturday, bringing much needed rain. I'm meteorologist Peter Sherwood at the Weather Center.
Well, we started digging fast, and we're finally way up out of the freezer locker now. It's 38 degrees, and we'll be climbing much faster up to 64 for expected daytime high, possibly even get a little higher than that, but we'll be dropping back tonight to 33 for the overnight low and clear skies, almost a full moon, not quite yet, but almost a full moon. It's 9:05. This is WCAB Rutherfordton, serving the foothills of the Carolinas.
It's time now for My Great America with Jim and Butch, a conversation about positive things about this great country. And now here are Jim and Butch.
Good morning, Butch.
Good morning, Jim. You know what? It's one of the things I really enjoy is I enjoy watching the physical transformation. It's physical of you from all of what you're in here doing, and then it's just kind of we not float, but we move purposefully into what we talk about.
Yeah. I have a little bridge of music to help me transcend into this different mode here.
Right, and you never know who's going to show up. Of course, we had a conversation here a few minutes ago with Ted Belle, and of course, there's a primary election that's going to be coming up at some point. Either they said May, but then I guess Bryson Smith, the chairman of the Republican Party, he and I text often in the morning. You know, people don't realize he works with his father. He's a worker guy, real work, pouring concrete.
Yeah.
And so the best time for me to communicate with Bryson, of course, he's got a little daughter as well, is late at night or early in the morning, and sometimes those things kind of come together. He was telling me this morning, he talked to Ralph Heiss, and that there's some chance that maybe it will be back in March. I don't know.
I hope so.
I don't know. But, you know, the thing about WCAB, here's something we do know, but you never know who's going to show up. So here we are, and Ted Belle, current district attorney, walks in the door, so we had a conversation about his Falcons, and he was buying some tickets. And, you know, the great thing about democracy, folks, the great thing about this grand republic that we have is that we can take convictions and we can run for office, and you have the right to vote. You know, the 20 million Americans who claim to be evangelicals that aren't registered to vote, you should not complain. I cannot get over it. You know, my Boompa, we're going to read from his journal in a minute, my great-grandfather, man, he came to the United States, learned English, went to school, provided for his family of 14, and made it clear that it was a biblical responsibility to vote.
Good for him.
So you want to know what he was saying in his journal?
Yes.
On this day, today's December 14th, right?
That's correct.
December 14th, 1898, my great-grandfather immigrated from Sweden with my great-grandmother that went through Ellis Island. This is what he was doing on December 14th up in Concord, New Hampshire.
Wait a minute, you mean they came to this country legally and they went to Ellis Island and paid all the dues?
Yes, that's for your earlier program. We're going to be kind and gentle, sweet, and life-giving.
Well, I want to commend them for doing it right.
Okay, great. I got you back. As they say in North Carolina, mow back. Okay, on this day, December 14th in 1898, this is what he said. I worked my wood. He's really into wood in the weather. Wood in the weather. I worked my wood for a long day in the shed. Then I took the horse and sleigh and went to church. Plowed out the front for the people who'll be coming. Built a fire in the church. Then I went to Union Street. I was in town for errands and renewed my subscription for the Boston Journal. Took the wife to a meeting, went home. When I got home, it was fair but very bold winds. Breeze was up, 18 below this morning, 12 below right now. Worked in my shed, long hours. Went in to eat with the wife. I have green wood. I'll go to the village tomorrow. I'll carry on with the work with the Fletchers. Went to see friend O.S. Willis. What a joy. Took my rent in for the house. Lots to do.
Wow. You know, I really admire folks who kept journals like that. I wish I had done that in my life. And I wish my parents had done that. That's a great, great tool to have, a great book to have.
Yeah, and this is 1898. He had these for year after year after year. So I'm really just blessed to be able to...
What a history book.
Yeah, and you know what? He was chopping wood and going to church.
Yeah.
And watching the weather. Yeah. And what a joy to... What a joy to have.
There are those folks today who do keep journals. I think it's great that they're doing that because history is going to die without it.
That's so true. And you know, this morning when I came in, Jim, Todd and I have Todd, Tracy, Lou, you and I, we've got a great relationship. It's a family here at WCAB. And I was checking in with Todd because, he's very committed and he's open about it to lose weight. And I said to him, I said, you're really doing a great job, Todd. You got some resolve because at this time of year, I guess a lot of people bring in sweets, don't they?
They do.
Yeah, and Tracy even mentioned that somebody's got a fried apple pie that they bring in. So I don't know, but he's resisting all of that. But I did want to let you know that he's got a dog, and it was on my heart to bring something for his dog. These are called wavy bacon strips. And Todd did say to me, it's very possible my dog may only get 3 of those, not 4. So, when people make a decision to get healthy, we need to encourage them.
Sure.
And so I pray for Todd. I pray for Jesse over at Railroad Express. He's wanting to lose weight too. And, it says in Scripture that we need to rejoice with people, rejoice, weep with people that weep. We need to be our brother's keeper. We need to encourage them. That's what the gospel of Jesus is all about. It's not to be in isolation. It's to really step out and make sure that your life, we're told that the average human will have about 3 billion heartbeats in their life. And we need to ask Jesus to help us make sure that every beat of our heart, every step that we take, every word that we speak is, as we often talk about in our church, is as an oracle of God. We don't need a lot of wasted words these days, do we?
Encouragement can be like the old song we sang as kids. It only takes a spark to get the flame going. A little encouragement can be what that person needs to get them going to reach their goal or their anticipated life of positive living.
Right. And you know what? We need to also recognize that our elders have a treasure trove of wisdom. We honor in our church, and I know you do at Florence Baptist, we honor our elders. Yes. We encourage them. We pull them in. We don't sequester them off. And, it's been years now that my grandfather has departed from terra firma, departed from earth. But I found myself going back to his Bible, and for some reason he loved the book of Philippians. Jim, look at this. He had notes everywhere, and I've been asking God to help me decipher some of the notes. But at some point, he was really into Philippians 1, starting in verse 12. And I'm going to go ahead and read that. And I'm asking God to help me know what was going on in his life. He had 11 children. I'm the oldest grandchild now with my sister's death, of 44 grandchildren, 129 great-grandchildren, and now 33 great-greats. And that's up mostly in the Lancaster, Pennsylvania area. But he had something on his heart. It was real clear. Of course, he was a Sunday school teacher as well. Philippians 1, verse 12. Now, I want you to know, this is the Apostle Paul, I want you to know, believers, that what has happened to me, this imprisonment that was meant to stop me, has actually served to advance the spread of the good news regarding salvation. My imprisonment in the cause of Christ has become common knowledge throughout the whole Praetorian, the Imperial Guard, and everyone else. Because of my chains, seeing that I'm doing well and that God is accomplishing great things, most of the brothers have renewed confidence in the Lord. In other words, his persecution was inspiring other people. If Paul can do it, we can do it too with God's help. Most of the brothers have renewed confidence in the Lord and have far more courage to speak the word of God concerning salvation without fear of the consequences, seeing that God can work his good in all circumstances. Some, it is true, are actually preaching Christ out of envy and rivalry toward me for no better reason than a competitive spirit or misguided ambition. That sound familiar?
Yes.
It's like I told someone one time, I remember it's not just Southern Baptists, but preachers. I've been around so many preachers where they'll lean over to each other when they see each other and say, how many are you running?
Yeah, yeah.
How many are you running?
Yeah.
And it's like that competitive spirit, which is not the spirit of the gospel. For no better reason than a competitive spirit or reason of misguided ambition, but others out of goodwill and a loyal spirit toward me. The latter preach Christ out of love because they know that I have been put here by God on purpose for the defense of the gospel. But the former preach Christ insincerely out of selfish ambition, just self-promotion, thinking that they are causing me distress in my imprisonment. What then does it matter? So long as in every way, whether in pretense for self-promotion or in all honesty to spread the truth, Christ is being preached, and in this I rejoice. Isn't that incredible? Isn't that incredible? I mean, he didn't go after him. He just said, as long as Jesus is the one we're focused on, God's going to sort it all out in the end. Yes, I will rejoice later as well, for I know with confidence that this will turn out for my deliverance and spiritual well-being through your prayers and the superabundant supply of the Spirit of Jesus Christ, which upholds me. It is my own eager expectation and hope that looking toward the future, I will not disgrace myself nor be ashamed in anything, but that with courage and the utmost freedom of speech, even now as always, Christ will be magnified and exalted in my body, whether by life or by death. For to me, to live is Christ. He is my source of joy, my reason to live, and to die is gain, for I will be with him in eternity. Paul was not afraid, and Jim, we are called not to be afraid either. We're called not to be afraid either. So I'm going to give you a real practical example of that, okay?
Right.
Okay, you know, my church has gone through some travail through the years.
I have noticed that, yes.
Okay. We've gone through persecution and travail, and I'm so grateful that 4 years ago, God miraculously brought me from Lenoir in Caldwell County here. This is my forever home. I'm not going anywhere. He made it very clear the work, Butch, that needs to be done in your life is going to happen here. And everything that is the purpose of God in your life is going to happen here. And those are landmarks and benchmarks for me every single day. And, you know, years ago, I used to say, God, if it was ever possible, I'd love to do a little radio program. And look at what he's given us, Jim.
Yeah.
He's given us that. But anyway, so I want to give a practical example of what we just read here. So, you know, there are people that don't like the Daily Courier. Richie Starnes is a dear friend of mine, and you know, he's now the editor of both the Lenoir News Topic and the Daily Courier. So you need to pray for him. He's got a lot on his plate. But this past weekend, there was a little article by a very good writer, Larry McDermott, who used to be with the Associated Press, and he was actually a publisher of a couple of newspapers and won Journalist of the Year in 2007 up in New England. He's a very good writer, and I love his writing. So anyway, so this weekend I was made aware of the fact that in the Tryon Daily Bulletin, which advertises itself as the biggest smallest daily newspaper in the world. That was so interesting. Well, I came to be aware of the fact that there was an article that Larry had written, and in that, you know, he made some comments about the church. Now, rather than get all steamed up about that, I went to my friend Pat Jobe, who also writes for the Courier, and I said, "Can I get an email address?" I sent Larry an email, and in it, I told him that his prose is elegant. He's obviously a very good writer. I talked about how Pat Jobe and I first met each other when I wrote an article a few years ago that was titled, "How Did Small Town Friendly Become Hate Speech Tolerant?" And Richie Starnes let me write that, and I talked about the attacks on our church, including some vicious things said on social media. Well, Pat Jobe wrote a letter to the editor. He took issue with that. In that letter to the editor, Pat ended it by saying, well, Butch has found love in his church, and that's great. Even a blind hog finds an acorn once in a while. And I didn't get upset at that in the spirit of what the Apostle Paul has said here. What I did is I got a hold of tracking Pat down, and I called him, and he said, you know, in his twang, Pat Joe. I said, this is Butch Maltby. And he said, who? I said, well, I'm the blind hog that found that acorn. And I'd love to have coffee with you. Well, out of that, has grown a relationship that a lot of people look at as very improbable. His politics are different. He's got a different theology. He's got a different walk of faith than I do. But God said love him. And we share the truth with each other, and more than a few times in a month, we've got a Bible that's open and we talk about things. So I wrote a note to Larry, and I just said to him at the end of it, I congratulated him on his good writing, and said I want him to know somebody that goes to Word of Faith Fellowship. I want him to know somebody, because what tends to happen in a lot of settings is we can create boogeymen out of anybody. You know, the weather's bad, your dog gets hit by a car, Walmart had a smash and grab, and it must be those Word of Faith people. And, we all know that that's not truth. And so the truth is what sets us free. But, it was nice because I had a nice article, I had a nice email back from him. And he was talking about celebrating time with the grandchildren, which is great. And after the first year, we'll get together. Now, it's not to debate. It's not to cajole. It's not to argue. It's to do what Jesus has called us to do. Come, let us reason together. And so, Jim, I wanted to share that because we have always had a very open-hearted set of discussions here on My Great America. And I'm grateful that the story of your life has been to open up the doors for dialogue, because we're better together. We're better together. And it doesn't mean we don't have convictions. It doesn't mean that even some people have opinions. Mm-hmm. I'm learning more and more that I want convictions that are based on what God says. My opinions through the years have gotten me in so much trouble. Mm. And so I want an early warning system before words come out of my mouth. But I wanted to share that as a practical example of we don't have to get angry with each other. We can sit and break bread and share coffee and talk.
Well, I'm glad he agreed to meet with you and discuss those things. That's how relationships are built. Instead of continuing to be critical of everybody behind their back, it's good to face, and let's find out what our mutual agreements are.
Right. And here's something that I know that we've got strong. Anybody that listens to the program, I would believe you have strong convictions about this. We need to remember that the truth of the gospel is not what we would call an ordinary claim. I mean, it's very improbable when you look at it. Jesus, the God of the universe, sent his only Son, the God who made all things, to die for us, to reconcile us in our sin to God, because God wants us as part of his family. Well, it's not just people that go to churches like mine or yours that say that. Simon Greenleaf, 1783 to 1853, was the Royal Professor of Law, Jim, at Harvard, and considered one of the greatest legal minds in Western history. In the testimony of the evangelist, here's what he said. This is arguably a Harvard professor early on, arguably one of the greatest legal minds that we've ever seen. This is what he said. Harvard. The religion of Jesus Christ aims at nothing less than the utter overthrow of all other systems of religion in the world, denouncing them as inadequate to the wants of man, false in their foundations, and dangerous in their tendency. It not only solicits the grave attention of all to whom its doctrines are presented, but it demands their cordial belief as a matter of vital concernment. These are no ordinary claims that are made by Jesus, and it seems hardly possible for a rational being to regard them with even a subdued interest, much less to treat them with mere indifference and contempt. If not true, they are little else than the pretensions of a bold impostor, which, not satisfied with having already enslaved millions of the human race, seeks to continue its encroachments upon human liberty until all nations shall be subjugated under its iron rule. But if they are well-founded and just, they can be no less than the high requirements of heaven, addressed by the voice of God to the reason and understanding of man concerning things deeply affecting his relations to his sovereign and essential to the formation of his character and, of course, to his destiny, both for this life and for the life to come. That's one of the architects of American jurisprudence. Simon Greenleaf, Royal Professor of Law at Harvard back 1783 to 1853. And Jim, we just, the whole woke culture movement doesn't understand that as the scales come off and as we rip apart the pages of history to discover the golden nuggets of truth that are there like this, people are going to say, no way. No way, not on our watch. This is not going to happen. And we're seeing that, regardless of the political expression of these sentiments and these deep convictions. Enough is enough. Enough is enough, and people are starting to see that, and I'm grateful.
I'm glad you refer back to these historical figures that sort of built a foundation for our country.
Yeah.
Said these things, because I think that's important that we never forget it, and I'm so afraid that we're forgetting those kind of things, but thank you for bringing it forward.
Thank you, Jesus. You know what? We're running out of time, and I want to make sure that we end with something that is just was so powerful on my heart this morning. You and I both love Ronald Reagan.
Yes.
You know what? Here's what he said, portions of what he said in his farewell address to the nation, January 11th, 1989. Can I read that?
Sure.
And this will be, folks, the way that we articulate through the memory of Ronald Reagan, a great president, some of what he said. He started out by saying, "My fellow Americans, this is the 34th time I'll speak to you from the Oval Office, and the last. We've been together 8 years now, and soon it'll be time for me to go. But before I do, I wanted to share some thoughts, some of which I've been saving for a long time. It's been the honor of my life to be your president. So many of you have written the past few weeks to say thanks, but I could say as much to you. Nancy and I are grateful for the opportunity you gave us to serve. One of the things about the presidency is that you're always somewhat apart. Spend a lot of time going by too fast in the car, someone else is driving, and seeing the people through the tinted glass. The parents holding up a child and the wave you saw too late and couldn't return. And so many times I wanted to stop and reach out from behind the glass and connect. Well, maybe I can do a little of that tonight. People ask how I feel about leaving, and the fact is parting is such sweet sorrow. The sweet part is California and the ranch and freedom. The sorrow, the goodbyes, and of course, leaving this beautiful place. You know, down the hall and up the stairs from this office is the part of the White House where the president and his family live. There are a few favorite windows I have up there that I like to stand and look out of early in the morning. The view is over the grounds here to the Washington Monument and then the Mall and the Jefferson Memorial. But on mornings when the humidity is low, you can see past the Jefferson to the river, the Potomac, and the Virginia shore. Someone said that's the view Lincoln had when he saw the smoke rising from the Battle of Bull Run. I see more prosaic things, the grass on the banks, the morning traffic, as people make their way to work now and then, and a sailboat on the river. I've been thinking a bit at that window. I've been reflecting on what the past 8 years have meant and mean. I've been doing a lot of thought. And the image that comes to mind like a refrain is a nautical one. A small story about a big ship and a refugee and a sailor. It was back in the early 80s at the height of the boat people. And the sailor was hard at work on the carrier Midway, which was patrolling the South China Sea. The sailor, like most American servicemen, was young, smart, and fiercely observant. The crew spied on the horizon a leaky little boat, and crammed inside were refugees from Indochina, hoping to get to America. The Midway sent a small launch to bring them to the ship in safety. As the refugees made their way through the choppy seas, one spied the sailor on the deck and stood up and called out to him and yelled, "Hey, freedom man!" You know, Jim, there was so much about Ronald Reagan that was just so real. Don't you miss?
Oh yeah.
Don't you miss that?
And that was so Ronald Reagan. That was so Ronald Reagan.
You know, and he wrote a lot of his own content, and he had his finger on the pulse of America. He ended the speech by saying this: "I've spoken of the shining city all my political life, but I don't know if I ever quite communicated what I saw when I said it. But in my mind, it was a tall, proud city, built on rocks stronger than oceans, windswept, God-blessed, and teeming with people of all kinds living in harmony and peace. A city with free ports that hummed with commerce and creativity. And if there had to be city walls, the walls had doors, and the doors were open to anyone with the will and the heart to get here. That's how I saw it and see it still. And how stands the city on this winter night? More prosperous, more secure, and happier than it was 8 years ago. But more than that, after 200 years, 2 centuries, she still stands strong and true on the granite ridge, and her glow has held steady no matter what storm. And she's still a beacon, still a magnet for all who must have freedom, for all the pilgrims from all the lost places who are hurting through the darkness toward home. We've done our part, and as I walk off into the city streets, a final word to the men and women of the Reagan Revolution, the men and women across America who for 8 years did the work that brought America back. My friends, we did it. We weren't just marking time. We made a difference. We made the city stronger. We made the city freer. And we left her in good hands, all in all, not bad at all. And so goodbye. God bless you. And God bless the United States of America.
Thank God for the Ronald Reagan's legacy. What a great man he was. Thank you for finishing us up. That's a good way to end the program.
God bless America.
God bless America. See you next time.
Thank you for joining us for My Great America with Jim and Butch. Join us each Tuesday and Thursday morning at 9:05 for this enlightening program on 100.9 FM and 590 AM. It's My Great America with Jim and Butch.